Gonzaga rolled over Loyola Marymount 89-55. Sixth-ranked Purdue won at Iowa 83-73. Number 7 UCLA knocked off Cal 81-57. And Stanford beat number 15 USC 64-61. Tennis, the Australian Open men's semifinal. Your winners, Rafael Nadal and Daniil Medvedev. I'm Eddie Garcia.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Good morning. Happy Friday to you, Steve Sipple. Jake Sorensen, the Early Break, full show ahead. A doubleheader in basketball yesterday at PBA for the men and women. Two different results for both teams, which has been pretty much the thing this whole season. One team wins and one team loses. We all know who that is for Nebraska. We'll talk to Bill Bender of the Sporting News next segment. He talked about what he thinks will be some great races in the Big Ten. Nebraska's quarterback race is up there. He thinks it's one of the best races in the conference. We'll ask him why he thinks Casey Thompson just won't win the job. To Bill Bender.
Okay.
And also, there's NFL news yesterday. We'll get to more of that as the show goes on. How are you today?
Good morning. Frazzled as usual, but fine.
You were here in plenty of time. How could you be frazzled?
Just because I got a lot on my mind. We got a lot to talk about.
Where are you at in Ozark right now, by the way?
I started at 4.
Okay. We are yet to start at 4. That's probably tonight's plan.
Okay, here's what I want you to do. Talk for a second. I got to grab something out of my bag.
I can do that. I can do that. Yes, Nebraska basketball last night. I played. There was 2 games. Of course, the men played at 4. The women played at 8. The men against Wisconsin. I mean, the box score would show you it wasn't a bad of a game. Nebraska lost by 8. They lose 73-65 to Wisconsin. But it was really more of the same. This is a game where Nebraska missed some easy shots. They took some bad shots. They couldn't rebound it at times very well. Wisconsin out-rebounds Nebraska 47-34. That's been a common story all year long. They got second chance efforts, and they made 10 of 22 on threes in this ballgame. Nebraska made 7 of 20. I mean, this game felt like pretty much the same old we've seen every single year, or every single game of Nebraska, especially at home. But despite the Michigan game where they got blown out, they have played teams respectably. I mean, they didn't get beat by 20. They lost by 8 last night. They were respectable, but still not great in the whole process. I mean, you were at the game. You were in attendance. First off, how was the crowd?
Yeah, it was great. It was really loud. It was riveting.
I think you're being sarcastic.
Super loud.
Sarcastic.
Super loud crowd. It didn't feel like a 4 p.m. game at all.
For an 0-8 basketball team.
It was a terrible atmosphere. Okay. I mean, God bless the people that showed up. I mean, I'm just speaking truth now. Okay. It was an awful atmosphere. It felt like I was
speak all truth.
Yeah.
Today.
I mean, I might as well been at the YMCA. I mean, it was nothing. It wasn't exactly no sit Sunday. Okay.
Oh, against the same exact team too.
Right. I mean, it was not a good atmosphere. I'm not gonna. I could come in here and say, well, it wasn't so bad.
No, we want truth. We don't want excuses. We want truth on this show.
It was not good. It was quiet. You could contemplate your life very easily. Okay, you could.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you contemplate life there?
I contemplated the pathetic nature of my life. Jake, it was not loud. Okay,
I didn't say it
was.
At
no point of the game was it loud. The women's game was pretty good, but those are 2 odd start times, 4 p.m. and 8.
Yeah,
it doesn't. No. If I'm Trev Alberts and I'm seeing that, now you got to take into account the 4 p.m. I'm watching that game in the eyes of an AD. I'll tell you something right now. Fred's in a world of trouble.
Well, how could he not?
Right,
be?
right. Exactly.
We've said this all year long. It just gets worse and worse, though.
Yeah, yesterday was not good. Here's why. Okay, now I hope people aren't mad on the text line. I said that about the atmosphere. People showed up. It wasn't half full, though. I mean, it was you. Are people mad on the text line?
No, they're
already?
not mad at all.
Okay, I don't.
How can you be mad about anything negative towards a team that's 0-9 in conference play?
Like Freddie.
I don't care what they like. I'm a realist.
Okay, now here's the issue. Wisconsin didn't play very well and wasn't really pressed. Okay, they didn't play all that well. What were they from?
Brad Davison played well.
Yeah, they did. But Johnny Davis,
their star, had 13 points. That's it.
And 0 in the first half.
Right.
Okay. Chucky Hepburn had foul trouble, played half of the first half, their point guard. They didn't play that well. They couldn't make anything in the paint. First half, Wisconsin shot on non-3-pointers. They were 13 of 38. Okay, that's 34%, Jake. That's non-3-pointers. Now, the trouble was from three-point land, they were 9 of 14.
Right.
And a lot of that was the nemesis.
Brad Davison.
Thank you. Davison was smoking hot most of the game. Although Wisconsin only made 1 3-pointer in the second half.
Yep.
But again, 9 of 14 in the first half from deep, 9 of 14 from deep. That's 64%. Davison was 5 of 7, I believe, in the first half. So yeah, it was weird because Wisconsin, I kept thinking, man, Wisconsin not playing very well.
They still led the whole time.
Yeah, they weren't really pressed.
Nebraska was leading midway through the first half, and then things happened to transpire, which was not surprising to have them up by 8 at halftime, 39-31.
Okay, we're not being unfair. I mean, Nebraska. This was all very predictable. Rebounds. Wisconsin wins the rebounding battle.
47-34. 13.
47 to 34. That's very predictable. Brad Davison hits 5 of 8 3-pointers. Very predictable. Wisconsin, the only thing that wasn't predictable, frankly, is that Wisconsin didn't play very well. It still won. Davison, by the way, became Wisconsin's all-time 3-point shooting leader. He has 274 in his career. 270 of those have come against Nebraska.
I think you're right. Without getting actual evidence, I think you're correct on that one.
He's hit 270 of his 270.
That all gets Nebraska. The surprising thing, is, like you said, is that Johnny Davis had no points in the first half, does have 13 in the second to help Wisconsin, of course, win by 8. If you want something positive, they held them scoreless in the first half, but still they trailed by 8.
Davison, let's go back to Davison real fast. Brad Davison came into the game in his previous 4 games. I'll do the math here, Jake.
Yep.
In his previous 4 games, Brad Davison was 18 for 31 from the 3-point line against Nebraska.
Oh, my gosh.
18 for 31 in the previous 4. So add 5, 23. 23 for 39.
Let's see what that is.
23 for 39.
That is 59% on threes. 59%.
I don't think
in his career.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's a great idea for the fans to boo him every time he has the ball when he's shooting 59%.
He likes the boo. He likes the boo. Yeah, go ahead and boo me.
Yeah, he's shooting 59% in this 5 games against Nebraska, the last 5 games, from deep. There's guys that can't hit 59% from the foul stripe to save their life.
Right.
All right. And he's hitting in game play 59% from deep against Nebraska in the last 5 games. He killed Nebraska in this game. Davis was doing nothing. Davis has been in a bit of a funk. Johnny Davis enters the game averaging 22 plus points a game. You just can't get uncorked. And he's been struggling a little bit. So he's in one of those times. Now, this is what I'd also say this about Wisconsin. They're better than I thought they were. Even Jake, I know it sounds like I'm contradicting myself. They didn't play very well. But think about what Wisconsin did. They didn't play very well. They went on the road in the Big Ten and won pretty easily, not playing well. So they're pretty good.
Well, they're
They're
16-3 for a reason.
Yeah, they're not really playing that well right now, though.
But they play good defense, and
they do.
That's
there you go.
That's what changes. They're not. They've never been like incredible offensively.
You got it.
This team has never in the lifetime. I mean, they were, I guess, offensively they were good in the Kaminsky and Decker days. They could score a lot there, but Wisconsin has never been an offensive juggernaut. They just make the right plays. They rebound and they defend like crazy, and that's why you just don't beat them.
That's why
you always feel like you're as athletic as them, if not more athletic.
Yeah.
But that's all it goes. That's where it stops.
That's where it stops.
They're more disciplined by a million.
Yeah, they play harder.
They play better defense by probably a million.
They have chemistry.
And
why do they have chemistry?
They go back to the rebounds. 13 offensive rebounds. Nebraska had 2. I mean, it's second chance points. That changes everything.
Yeah. Fred pointed out that Nebraska was better on the offensive boards and defended a 3 in the second half. That's he's right.
They had 2 offensive boards. If that's better, I guess.
Yeah.
They had 2. 2.
Anyway, okay. I think we can say this. I mean, I don't know. I understand that people listening say you guys harp on the same things. We say the same things over and over. But Wisconsin, but Wisconsin, see what you see. And if you're a little bit envious of Wisconsin, I don't blame you if you're a Nebraska fan, because Wisconsin clearly recruits to a system, right? It doesn't look like a hodgepodge of players that's thrown together and you say, okay, let's hope this works.
There's a reason why we said that Chucky Hepburn fits perfectly at Wisconsin, because, as you said, they have a system. He fits perfectly. He does.
He's a team guy, and he's not a me guy. And Chucky, by the way, goes out. You knew it was going to be a tough day probably right away, because Chucky splashed a 3 right off the bat.
That's right. He did.
Right off the bat. But Chucky plays really good defense. And I'm glad you identified defense, because Greg Gard, the Wisconsin coach, identified defense as the thing that got them on track when Nebraska went up. Nebraska went up 16-11 early in the game.
They did, yeah. I remember that. They've had good starts to games besides the Purdue game, typically.
Yeah, Nebraska was up 16-11, and Gard said it was our second unit players, our reserves off the bench, that kind of got us back on track. And he said they did it with defense. See, they do it. Wisconsin does it with things that aren't available to Nebraska, it seems like. Have we ever said Nebraska, they got back in the game because their defense?
Not with Fred Hoiberg.
No, you're probably not
in the past with Tim Miles.
Or
Doc or somebody.
Yeah.
Not with this.
Yeah,
era.
Definitely
not this era.
Yeah, I'm talking about this era.
Well, this era's had so few wins. Of course, you can't say that in general.
Right. So now, this 5-game stretch that we've been talking about. So it started in very unspectacular fashion. I haven't been going to the games a lot. Now I did go, and it was not. I thought it would be better than it was.
What? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
Because I'm an optimist.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, because I'm always, and I'm a little naive, as you know. I'm a little naive. I just am, and it wasn't a good atmosphere. And it doesn't. And if you're the AD sitting there watching it, I'd be shocked if it's not going through Trev's mind that we got to make a change.
Well, and I'd say this too. Go back to
I just said that, and that's not a small thing to say. But if you're at that game and watching it, Jake, you're not seeing. Okay, Jake. Assists to turnovers for Nebraska men. 10 assists, 13 turnovers. Okay. Out rebounded by 13. Not good chemistry. Not
things that have not changed the whole year.
Then you flip over to the Nebraska women's side. 20 assists, 9 turnovers. That's winning basketball.
And they won.
By 33.
By 33.
Yeah. Nebraska women, 20 assists. 20 assists is a beautiful number.
That's good. That's good passing right there.
Yeah.
It's good teamwork.
Yeah, it's good. They got a point guard in Jazz Shelley.
Yeah,
9 assists.
She had 9 assists last night.
Only 2 turnovers. She passes people open. They have a point guard. You know who else has a point guard? Wisconsin.
Who's from Nebraska.
That's the whole picture was not good. Now, 5 games. I wrote it. Okay, the next 4, if Fred won, I know you're going to snicker, but I'm just saying.
I am going to
I know.
snicker.
I'm just saying if Fred wants to show any progress at all, just show us any progress. You have to win 2 of these next 4.
It's not 3 anymore.
3 would be the 3 would at least create some positive energy.
That'd be 3 of the next 4 with 1 game on the road at Michigan.
Right. I mean, and we're talking about Rutgers at home, Northwestern at home, and Minnesota at home.
And I wasn't trying to crush you the other day in terms of saying why I didn't believe it was going to happen. I just this team is not good.
I know.
You know, it's just to expect them to all of a sudden win 3 out of 4 games when they haven't won a game in general since December 22nd.
Yeah, you're right. I got to start listening
against
guys.
Kennesaw State. Oh, by the way, it wasn't like you beat somebody good. Your last win was against Kennesaw State,
right,
on like December 22nd.
Yeah, they drilled Kennesaw State. Hey, now here's the deal, Jake. You're right.
Good for them.
When you shrug me off, I thought about you yesterday. You're right. Why do I go over there thinking, oh, this is going to be close? It was kind of close.
Because you're an optimist, and I hate bringing you down to reality, but the team does it itself, frankly, for you. It's not even me. I can say something, but the team proves what I've been saying, and that can bring you down to reality instead of being an optimist.
Well, and the other thing that brings you down is I just don't think they're going to have to win close games. I don't think they're going to be good in close games.
They haven't been so far.
No,
they have been in some close games, and they have not won them.
Okay, let's see what we got. People
let's get some calls on the Honda of Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685. Dave, you're up first on early break. Go ahead, man.
Hey, good morning, Jake. Steve, I want to make sure I got up early to call in on basketball. You know, You guys have been really good on your podcast lately. Just want to applaud you on that.
Well, thank you, Dave.
You know, Steve. Jake has been a fan for a long time. You know, and for something to really be bad, it has to be bad because he's a good basketball fan at Nebraska. And he's a realist. And when something is bad, he points it out. So it has to really be bad for him to be, this down on the team. But the criticism is warranted. But, these next 5 games you're talking about, Steve,
mm-hmm.
Is it going to be really progress if they finish the year 10-22 or 10-21?
Not really.
I don't think it's progress.
Not really.
But I think Trev's going to have to play hardball at the end of the year if he's going to get rid of him, negotiate a lower buyout with his agent and him, just like, Louisville had to do with Chris Mack. But yet again, Chris Mack was in trouble anyway. But, you've had these guys come on the radio like Bassett and Washington, just rave about these guys like, Trevor Lakes, Cam Mack, Gervais Green, Ted Allen, and this new guy, Burge.
Mm-hmm.
These guys aren't very good. Now, if I'm Trev Alberts, I'm saying, look, what you're doing isn't good. You got to develop your team. You can't just be going for the quick fix. If you look back at the roster, Steve and Jake, like 2 years ago, look at all the guys that are gone that could have been seniors this year. Jamal Stevenson, Kevin Cross. But, if they don't fit, Abdelmassi's just going to, run them off. But, hey, can I mention one thing about the seats at Memorial Stadium?
Yeah,
okay,
please
yeah,
do.
sure.
Please
do.
This year, my step aunt and my step uncle, my 2 cousins, they didn't renew their seats, which was going to be like $10,000.
Okay.
They didn't renew it this year. I just didn't. They're getting up in age, and I didn't want them to go. So I went and bought a bunch of stuff for them, made like their downstairs basement into like a recreation viewing room. I bought 2 TVs for them, refrigerator, microwave,
nice,
oven. Just made it like a man cave,
mm-hmm.
because the person behind them, and they complain all the time when they got home, they let people know around them that they're not paying for their seats, But that's just one of the things that Trev Alberts was saying about the seating. There's people that are there that don't pay for seats, and it's just not fair. But your basketball criticism is warranted, Steve and Jake. Like I said, if they win 10 games, it's still not going to be progress.
Yeah, I know.
And the thing of it is, these guys have been together since June. And now you're throwing Trey McGowan's in, and Tomonaga's minutes have disappeared. And it's like a whole brand new team. They're trying to adjust again. But, Hey, I enjoy your podcast, guys. I just
Thank
want
you.
to say that.
Well,
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you
Dave.
saying that.
Appreciate that.
Okay, so the whole 5-game thing, I'm just saying, show a modicum of progress. And Jake, you got to leave open a possibility they catch a little bit of a confidence wave and maybe get some wins. Now, does it change? Would it change your perception of the program? Probably not.
No.
It would take something rash, like 7 wins.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, rash. That would be rash.
How about right now? You're 0-9, and we'll see if you play the Ohio State game that got postponed last Saturday. But let's assume we have 20 games still in conference play. You got 11 left. If they went 7-4 down the stretch, sure. I mean, that's progress.
That's a miracle.
But that's not going to happen.
that would require a miracle.
I can't sit here with a straight face and tell you that
Right.
I have any inkling of hope that would even
No.
be close to
No,
what's
we
going
have,
to happen.
and I agree with you that I more than you have to stop referring to such possibilities because it's not happening.
Well, and
it's
go,
not.
like Dave said, and thank you for the compliment, Dave. Yeah, I have been a long time basketball fan, and
I feel for you.
I am harping a lot, and I've lost interest because I don't see a team that fights very hard.
You didn't go to the game.
I did not go to the game. I watched a portion of it.
You did not.
decent
You do
portion
not
of it.
see a team that fights
No, it just-
very hard.
I have said this before. I'll say it again. Like the Doc Sadler years, they were not a very talented team, but my gosh, they fought hard. They played good defense. They played baseline to baseline, Doc's thing, and they bought the system. They were not great shooters. They didn't win 80-78. They won 56-55. They won a low scoring game. They pissed you off defensively. Tim Miles, the second year, I mean, they were good at both. Good offensive team, good defense. There's a reason why they finished 4th in the conference that year. Craig Smith goes away, they drop off, and then they eventually get some defense back going. They weren't like the Doc defenses, but Doc they didn't have the talent. Doc didn't have the talent that Tim brought in.
Tim brought in
offensively.
talent,
He
right.
brought in talent.
Yeah.
And I just you rarely, I mean, once in a while, but you would rarely see a team that stopped playing. There was times they had bad games, but I could tell they were playing still and they cared.
Oh yeah, they did.
There's more times than not, this team just, I don't think they care that much.
Yeah,
Like winning is not everything to them.
it doesn't seem like it.
Just show me a reason, show me any sort of inkling that winning means everything to this team, and I'll bring 18 reasons why that's wrong.
It's amazing what's happening right now. Fred is making me feel bad about my criticism of Miles. Because Tim's program was immeasurably better than Fred's. It was. I mean, if by record alone, but because of not only that, but because of what you're saying. I mean, that team, when they had Roby, Copeland, Palmer, Watson,
Oh,
come on, that's
talent, man.
serious
That's
talent.
good talent.
That's serious talent. And they did play hard. Copeland was a transfer from Georgetown,
Right.
but Copeland was a transfer that played his off. Palmer, transfer from Miami. But he bought in. Those guys bought in.
Yeah, the difference, though, Sip, is that was a time when transfers had to sit out for a year. They had a time they knew
had
they had
to
to
sit
sit
out.
out. They
Yeah.
could gel with the team and
Yeah.
they could come in.
Yeah.
And that's not an excuse for Fred saying that's why it's struggling. I'm just saying that those guys that transferred were forced to sit out a year.
Mhm.
They learned the system. They practiced
Uh-huh.
and they were ready to go.
They were.
The next year, they had built chemistry in.
They were. There was. I mean, that
And that's why it's so hard to just have 8 guys come in 1 year and expect it to work.
I know.
Those guys sat out for a season, and that's why still I'm fine with transfers. But when it was like that, when he had a chance to gel for a year,
Okay, and then there's some other things.
You weren't learning on the fly.
So let's just give people concrete reasons that this isn't going well. Concrete, just very concrete. Fred's trying to win without a true point guard. I don't know how you do that in the Big Ten.
and it's almost intentional.
Seemingly,
Last year, no true point guards. First year, Cam Mack was a point guard,
Yeah.
but he was crazy.
right? He had off field,
He was
off
crazy.
court issues.
He was
off court
well, he had on the court issues.
issues. Yeah, he
What are you
did.
talking?
Well, he did the bow and arrow thing, which was
Yeah,
really
I
interesting.
know. He's crazy. He'd be down by 20, make a bucket. Here's the bow and arrow. Cam, play defense. You're down by 20.
Okay, so Fred's trying to win without a point guard. And what did you notice? Did you watch the game yesterday?
Yeah, I watched
Please
a
tell me you
portion of
watched
it.
the
Yeah, a good portion.
You are really hurting as a fan right now. Oh, okay. Now, so Fred's trying to win without a point guard. He's also trying to win without a real. They're not very big. He kind of tries to do this thing tries to win without bigs or win with, low premium on bigs. Okay. Derek Walker's a good player. I don't call him a big. He's technically a big in Nebraska's system because he's a power forward, but he's 6'8" below the rim player is what I'm saying. What does Wisconsin do? Now, they didn't do it well, but what did they do? They just pounded it inside. You could tell guard was like, just pound him. I mean, go at him hard. Get the ball and move into their chest, in toward the rim. Wisconsin did a great job of that, bad job of finishing. But my point is, Wisconsin plays like a Big Ten team has to play. They'll play some bully ball.
Yep.
Not really good at it yesterday. Terrible inside the paint shooting, but it was intent. Their intent was go at them. They're not big. Go at them.
And you've never seen Nebraska ever play bully.
Oh, you can't do it with Nebraska's roster.
Even like against the lesser teams, though. Like
No.
Western Illinois is a lesser team, and there was no bully ball there, and you lost that game.
See, with Wisconsin, though, even though they weren't making their inside baskets inside the lane, Davison was going off. Okay, so they have enough versatility to withstand a part of their game going bad. That's why they're 11th ranked team in the country, right? They weren't hitting their inside shots, but they have Davison to hit outside shots, or Johnny Davis could go off at any second, right? Didn't yesterday at 13, 0 in the first half. Didn't have a good game, but there you got that senior Davison just drilling threes at critical times.
I would say super senior Brad Davis.
Yeah.
He's been there for about 10 years.
Yeah. He's a badass too, by the way.
Well, he's had plenty of years to develop that.
Yeah.
He's been there for a long time.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. So just so people understand, it's not unwarranted criticism. Fred's trying to win without a point guard, a willing point guard,
Which,
like Jazz Shelley. Jazz Shelley on the women's side, 9 assists, 2 turnovers. You heard what Amy Williams said after the game. Jazz passes people open. God, that's music to fans' ears, isn't it? Nebraska women, 20 assists, 9 turnovers. They play that sort of basketball. Nebraska doesn't. 10 assists, 12 turnovers. They don't share the ball particularly well. It's a lot of one-on-one, a lot of offense. The thing that startles me watching them is that Fred seems to allow it.
And continues
Yeah.
to allow it, despite the losing, despite
I don't know
the
if he's
turnovers and the going up and the assists going down.
if he's throwing up his hands at this point.
It feels like it to me. The man has no answers, and I like him. Listen, we all think Fred Hoiberg's nice, but
He's a great guy.
put the niceness to the side and talk about what matters most, which is is the team winning?
He's not,
They're not at all.
The thing about Fred that you praise is he's very professional. He's very calm. He handles himself very well.
Sounds like Marty Bird, except
He's a lot like Marty
except
Bird.
He's not orchestrating the casino very well.
No,
and
the
cartel.
big difference between he and Marty Bird is Marty Bird assesses a situation and gets it done.
Right.
And gets whatever he has to get done. Fred's assessing the situation, but getting nothing done. The cartel would have run Fred out several months ago. Okay. Omar Navarro would have no patience for Fred Hoiberg.
Why did I do this?
Omar Navarro would have zero patience for Fred. You keep telling me the operation is okay and this is what we get. Yeah, it would it would not work.
It would be
No, don't compare Fred to Marty because Marty makes things happen.
Well, I just say the calmness.
Yeah.
But the ability to get things done with the calmness is not there.
Right.
Let's get one more call from Derek in a car. Derek, you're on early break. Go ahead, man.
Happy Friday, Husker Nation. Jake, my job today is to get your blood boiling. So get on your Google horn.
Oh boy!
All right.
And look up Big Ten basketball coach's salary. Steve, I'm surprised you haven't written extensively about this.
Okay.
Fred Hoiberg. Let's talk about value, right?
Okay.
Scott Frost had the exact same thing happen to him that Trev needs to do with Fred today, which is call him in his office, slide the new contract over to him and say, here's your new contract, or Doc Sadler will take us the rest of the way this year.
Ooh, okay.
Because when you're
paid only $84,000 less per year than Tom Izzo, and you're sitting at the very bottom of the Big Ten Conference standings with no hope of getting out of that basement, then the fans need to start looking at, well, what are we getting in return for our money? And for our money, that's the athletic department. So the problem that I have is not only is he the second highest paid coach in the conference, but he's probably top 6 in the country.
He's top 10 for sure.
Top 10.
He's top 10
Top
for sure.
12 for
Top
sure.
10. Okay, top 10. And when I looked at that last night, halfway through the second half,
Mm-hmm.
I was infuriated. And then I see McGowan's pop off, and I know this makes you cringe too, Jake, from 30 foot out, no
Bad
pass.
basketball.
Just bring the ball down, scoot it over to me, and let me take a shot from Nowheresville. These are the things that have to be corrected in order for this program to move forward. I'm not saying Fred isn't the guy, but I tell you what, if he were in my office today, the buyout would be gone. His buyout would be equal to his salary. And if he didn't accept it, that's fine. We're just going to move on, because the longer you wait, the longer this situation festers. And the longer it festers, the more apathy will set in with the fan base, and the arena will no longer be sold out. That's just a fact.
All right, Derek, thanks for the call. And
Well,
that's the point to me.
Hold on. That's a great call. Go to the salaries first.
Yeah, well, I don't have them all, but Tom Izzo, as Derek said, $3.984 million tops in the Big Ten. Fred Hoiberg second at $3.9 flat million. That's ahead of Brad Underwood at Illinois at $3.8 million. So Hoiberg's ahead of him, but he's Greg Gard are at less than $2.5 million. Steve Peichel, Richard, not Patino, Juwan Howard was below $2.5 million. Juwan Howard,
Big Ten Coach of the Year last year,
is making less than Fred Hoiberg.
Yeah, they're not getting them. They're not getting value. You're right.
Derek said, I'm not sure if it's time to move on. It is time to move on.
Well, I don't know that.
What fan is going to sign up to watch this team if Hoiberg's back, no matter how nice he is, no matter how much of a track record he has at Iowa State in the NBA, he's been here for 3 years. If Nebraska goes 2-18 in conference play, or 0-20, 1-19,
About 4-16,
4-16, fine, that's the ceiling right now. What fan is going to willingly sign up to watch this team play again next year?
I don't know.
Season ticket holders. I'd like to know if anyone out there, if you have a season tickets, are you planning on renewing if Hoiberg is retained?
Well, here's the thing, Fred,
and why?
You got to think about Trev. He has a conundrum, Derek. There is that buyout sitting there, Derek. There's a buyout sitting there that you just can't. You can't just. Derek, I mean, it's a legally bound contract. I don't think Fred is necessarily just going to say, okay, you don't have to pay me my buyout, or okay, you don't have to pay me $9 million of my buyout. I mean, I don't know if Fred's just going to surrender $9 million of his buyout because he's a good guy. I don't know. Maybe, you never know, but I don't know if it's going to be that simple. What I'm suggesting is Trev is in a bit of a fix here.
A bit.
And if you were at that game yesterday, it would become crystal clear to you that this fix is real. The apathy's already there. Okay. The booing. I mean, you hear smattering of boos at times.
I don't blame them
for certain players. What I saw was somewhat alarming. Okay. Now Trev's got to contemplate that. And in the quiet of Pinnacle Bank Arena yesterday, there was a lot to contemplate.
Well, we will keep contemplating because that's all we can do right now. Bill Bender, the Sporting News, is up next on Early Break on the Ticket.
Southeast Community College is training tomorrow's workforce today with our nearly 60 career and technical programs. We are doing our part to help employers fill vacancies during this current labor shortage, graduating students with skill sets employers are seeking. We're also helping to upskill the workforce by adding short-term credentials like certificates in many programs so that employees can get retraining quickly. Learn more about upskilling with SCC at southeast.edu/academics. SCC, your path to possible.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Bagels & Joe is ready for winter with white chocolate raspberry cream cheese, great on any bagel. And try a grilled Italian panini for lunch with ham, prosciutto, banana peppers, and provolone on a sun-dried tomato bagel. Bagels & Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff@brokersinsuranceNE.com.
This
Good morning, little brother.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, the college football season is over. The NFL has 2 weekends left. Tomorrow or Sunday, Sip, the conference championships, the Bengals, Chiefs, the Niners, and Rams. And then the Super Bowl in a couple weeks after that, February 13th. We're joined now by the Sporting News' Bill Bender. Good morning, Bill. Thanks for joining us. We'll get to your new article about the quarterbacks in the Big Ten in a second. But I'm curious, you're obviously an Ohio guy. The Bengals play the Chiefs on Sunday. I think I saw 7.5-point dogs last time I checked. Do they have a shot? How good of a shot do the Bengals have on Sunday against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship, Bill?
Well, I mean, they beat them the first time, and they played with them. They didn't back down. And right now, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback left in the playoffs. I'm not saying that, but Joe Burrow is playing with a ton of confidence and has made such a huge difference. He's an Ohio guy, as you guys know, and I think he's kind of taken over the state. There's a lot of Joe Burrow fever here in Ohio.
Is there really? Okay, Bill Bender of the Sporting News, who's based in Ohio. Do I say suburban Columbus? Is that where you're from? Yeah, we live just south of Columbus in a high school football factory known as Pickerington, Ohio. Oh, you're in Pickerington. Okay, Billy. All right. You said what you said about Joe. We can go back to that. But I want to ask you about Zach Taylor because Zach Taylor is a former Nebraska quarterback. What is his popularity level like in the state of Ohio at this point, Zach Taylor? Well, yeah, early in the season, he was kind of on the hot seat because they weren't sure if he was the right coach. But I think with each week,
his popularity is growing too. And I mean, that's the secret in the NFL. The secret in college, guys, is he's got a franchise quarterback. So, and with that, I think they're going to continue to win in this division, and he's not going anywhere. And I think, the story that went around a couple weeks ago that they beat Kansas City and then he went to his son's basketball game. Like, I appreciated that. That just shows like kind of the human that he's a good guy, and they're riding the momentum of this playoff run. It's been awesome to see.
Do you see the Bengals right now? Again, obviously the North has been pretty solid for a while with the Steelers. They lose Big Ben, though. The Browns have been kind of, they're curious what happens with Mayfield there. Obviously Lamar Jackson is still good with the Ravens, but he was banged up this year. Do the Bengals have a chance to, to become the kings of that division going forward? Do you still see kind of some battles between the Ravens going forward in the next couple of years?
I mean, it's a tough division. I think the Steelers will have a plan at quarterback, and whether that's bringing in a veteran like Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, and they're going to continue to be good. Baltimore's good. Cleveland still has a ton of talent, but I mean, what the Bengals have going for them is the Burrow Chase connection. They've got a ton of cap room, and they need to use that cap money to invest in some offensive line, because that's my biggest concern for them tomorrow is how do they withstand the Chiefs pass rush? Because the reality is, last week he got sacked 9 times. You don't win too many football games when your quarterback gets sacked 9 times.
No, you don't.
No, that was an impressive win for the Bengals. Joined by Bill Bender of the Sporting News. Bill, going to college football, you wrote about Big Ten quarterback races the other day. Nebraska, of course, is high up on your list there. Casey Thompson is the new transfer from Texas. Also, Chubba Purdy for Nebraska from Florida State. I mean, there's some thoughts in the state that there will be a competition, but Casey Thompson will come out on top. What is your assessment of the quarterback duel or the battle now at Nebraska as we head into the spring and into the fall after that?
Yeah, Casey Thompson's really intriguing because you go back to the Oklahoma game, which is probably the game most people watched with him in it. Played awesome. Had, I think, 4 touchdowns in the first half, and he can put up some numbers. So, and then Purdy, obviously I think there will be a competition, but it's one that most people feel like Thompson's going to win and be the guy to lead this offense. And for the first time, Scott Frost is going to have somebody that's not Martinez running his offense.
Right. Which is interesting. Interesting in itself. As far as Ohio State goes, Bill, you're again in Pickerington, suburban Columbus. You have your finger on the pulse of that program. What is the off-season feel for the Ohio State program among the fan base?
I mean, they were happy with the Rose Bowl victory against Utah, I think, and Ryan Day kind of cleaned house on the defensive side. That was a Sopranos-like response to losing to Michigan. You cut the entire defensive staff almost, and they did some switching there. They bring in Knowles from Oklahoma State, who, obviously was in the running for the Broyles Award. I think the sentiment that I got is all the 4- and 5-star talent that they had on the defensive side of the ball, there's no way they should have been as bad as they were last season.
Okay.
And it reared its head against Oregon, Michigan. And I mean, if Utah's starting quarterback doesn't go down, they might lose that one too.
Okay. Now I got to stop you right there, Bill. Okay. That would have been, and I was watching the Rose Bowl thinking this, and tell me if I was off base. That would have been loss number 3 for Ohio State if Utah pulls out that win in the Rose Bowl, which was a close game. If Day has 3 losses, what is his how much pressure is on Ryan Day at that point?
Oh, I mean, there would have been I think that Rose Bowl win, their season went from, man, there's pressure. Hey, man, we don't lose 3 games around here to right. What a win, what an offense. C.J. Stroud, Jackson Smith-Jigba, both going to be in the Heisman discussion. So that is the fine line for one of these so-called bowl games that people say is meaningless. And I know the talk around here this summer, Steve, is going to be in the opener. Doesn't get much better than that. And I always know when there's a summer around here, because there is a large Catholic base in Ohio, that there's going to be a lot of excitement around that opener against the Irish and vice versa.
Yes.
There was some thoughts the other day, Bill, that Gary Barta, the Iowa AD, mentioned the possibility of the Big Ten going away from divisions and instead just having one conference with no division at all. What are there more pros or more cons to that, in your opinion?
No, I mean, scheduling is going to get tricky with that many teams, but I think they should go to that model. I mean, obviously, since they've gone to East and West, the balance, you hear this question get asked at Big Ten Media Day every year about the balance of power between the divisions. So, and the East has won the Big Ten championship every year since they split from the Legends and Leaders. So they've got to find a way to balance that out. I think go toward playoff expansion, it's probably best to go away from divisions because then those will be your highest ranked teams, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. What do you do at the conference title game?
Well, I mean, you could try to, the Big 12 does it right, but they have less teams. So they play everybody. So it makes sense where you just put 1 and 2 in there. But I think what's going to happen is how do you make a balanced schedule? You know, we every year we clamor about, you know, Nebraska, for example, last year played, was it Michigan, Ohio State, and Michigan State?
Yes, that's what it was.
Sure did.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yes.
That's not fair in some ways, especially with the, you know, you played all 3 teams that played New Year's Day 6 Bowls. So that'll be the biggest concern is how do they balance out the schedule among the 14 teams.
Speaking of Michigan, Bill, I'm curious. Last year, of course, they won the Big Ten. They went to the playoff, got whacked by Georgia, but still were the conference champions. Do they have the ability to repeat next year, or do you think 2021 was somewhat of a flash in the pan for them in that regard?
No, I mean, they're going to have talent. They're going to have more talent. And I mean, I know there's a lot of rumors going around about Jim Harbaugh, but I think kind of the indicator to me that he's staying is they hired the defensive line coach a couple weeks ago. Lose Mike McDonald last night to the Ravens. So that's the immediate thing is who's the new defensive coordinator going to be. And I think the big question for Michigan, honestly, is are they going to hand the keys to J.J. McCarthy? Because Cade McNamara had a great year, but you saw in the fourth quarter in that bowl game that J.J. McCarthy is a special talent, and that'll be the big question for them.
Yeah, the big question I have, Bill, is how much does any of it matter as it applies to the SEC? Can the Big Ten threaten that Georgia-Alabama kingdom at all?
And that was the reality check, right? And you're exactly right. I mean, I went to the championship game and watched all that talent on the field, and you're thinking, you know, for all these arguments about expansion and it's not fair, it's this, those were the 2 best teams in the country, Steve.
Oh,
they were the most talented countries or team. Best defenses they had, you know, and Georgia was really good. So I don't think Ohio State would have done anything differently against either one of those teams. So it is about catching those 2 schools. I would lump in a couple others in the SEC that have a ton of talent. But, you know, for Michigan, it's about being able to recruit elite 4- and 5-star talent. I mean, the stat I kept throwing at people, Sip, was 19 5-star guys. Michigan had 3, and one of them was a backup quarterback. So what happened wasn't an accident.
Say that stat again, please. You faded out a little bit, Billy.
Okay. So Georgia had 5-star guys on their roster. Michigan had 3, and one was McCarthy, who didn't really start playing until the fourth quarter.
Right.
So when those results happen like that, it's not an accident.
Nope, it was not an accident.
No, not a surprise at all. Bill, always great stuff. Thanks for the time. We will chat with you again down the road.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Whoa. A lot of ground covered there. By the way, I liked what he said, Jake, about think about that. We always say that thing about, okay, I'm not going to be overly caustic, but you heard what he said about the bowl game.
I did,
Jake.
I heard you.
Why do we?
I saw you perk up during that.
Why
also.
do we say those games are meaningless? I mean, if Utah wins that game, first of all, is that meaningless for Utah's program?
No.
Hello.
Not at all.
Okay. Second of all, is it meaningless for for Ryan Day? No, it would be filled with meaning if Ohio State lost 3 games in a season. It would be filled with meaning, that bowl game. It would mean Ryan Day goes into the 2022 season on the hot seat.
Yeah.
I mean, So why do we pretend those games mean nothing?
I think the Rose Bowl always means
okay. Now, so you're going to try to wiggle out of it that way.
With the Rose Bowl, it means that you had a great
So
season. You were a
this is
conference
your way to
champion,
wiggle out.
likely, or
that
you
was
were right
weak.
up there.
Try it again. Try again.
This isn't.
So we're just going to say it's
the
the Rose
Capital
Bowl.
One Bowl. This
Oh,
isn't
God,
the
here we go.
the
because
the Cheez-It Bowl. Those, I mean,
in the
you
next
want to
conversation,
win
you'll
them.
diminish the Rose Bowl and
No,
not.
I will not.
Yeah.
No, I will not. Nebraska. I mean,
You'll say, "What's the Rose Bowl mean?"
no, that's not true. The Rose Bowl would be an incredible achievement right now for
No.
this team who has missed
I'm not
5
letting
straight
you, I'm
bowl
not letting you
games.
do this.
I'm doing it. Give me the Rose Bowl, baby. Yeah.
No, you can't.
That means you probably won 10 or 11 games.
Yeah, here we
Sign
go.
me
Here
all the
we
way
go.
up for
Here
that.
we go. Oh, and if Nebraska makes the Capital One Bowl, you'll say it means nothing.
It's not as much as the Rose Bowl, but it does mean a lot.
Thank you. That's all I needed to hear.
It means
Your
when you
Honor.
haven't made a bowl game in 5 years, it means way more
I
than it
rest
used
my
to.
case, Your Honor.
But the Rose Bowl would mean way more than that.
Yeah, well, that's not. We're not talking about that.
When we come back, song of the day on early break in the ticket.
Hey, Steve. Welcome to Great Clips.
Great Clips asks, what's the difference between good and great?
Come on back and have a seat.
Good asks you what haircut you'd like.
I have all your details from last time. Would you like the same haircut today?
Great already knows. With Clip Notes, we save your haircut details so you can get the same thing as last time, every time. Download our online check-in app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Bagels and Joe is ready for winter with white chocolate raspberry cream cheese, great on any big. And try a grilled Italian panini for lunch with ham, prosciutto, banana peppers, and provolone on a sun-dried tomato bagel. Bagels and Joe, 4 Lincoln locations.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric ensures our home and office HVAC systems run smoothly throughout the year to provide maximum comfort and convenience. Routine maintenance reduced our operating costs just by improving the efficiency of our unit. Consider a maintenance agreement to ensure you too receive priority for services and scheduling. This helps meet manufacturer warranty requirements. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Did you know your air ducts can hold up to 17 pounds of dirt, dust, pet dander, and so much more? John Henry's is here to help make the air you breathe cleaner with a duct cleaning. If you've never had your ducts cleaned, now is the best time, especially if you have pets, someone in the home with allergies or asthma, or you've ever done a renovation. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And now a limerick from the world of Young.
There once was a man in a bind. He's got the best wife in all mankind. And with Valentine's Day not that far away, he needs the greatest gift he can find. Jewelry can be hit or miss, and that vacuum was quickly dismissed. Flowers, they die. Homemade, don't be that guy. But what about that bakery in Beatrice? Liqueur cakes, you'll eat every crumb. Fruit cakes made with brandy, bourbon, and rum. And those chocolate cake squares. Do I have to drive you there? Get yourself to the world of Yum.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected for the majority of the day, although we should break into some sunshine by this afternoon. High temps only around 38, northwest winds at around 10 to 15. Mainly clear tonight with a low dropping down to around 20. Tomorrow, an incredible warm-up on the way. We'll see mostly sunny skies with an afternoon high of 57. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You love to bash his sports takes.
Now, will you feel like an idiot if you're
No,
a big tough?
never feel like an
If
idiot.
you're a big tough guy this morning,
But you really love to voice your displeasure for his music choices.
he stumbled on an issue that I did not think would generate this much passion and discussion.
It's time for Jake's questionable song of the day on Early Break on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
And the boys upstairs just don't understand anymore. Well, the top brass don't like him talking so much, and he won't play what they say to play. And he don't want to change what don't need to change. And there goes the last DJ who plays what he wants to play and says what he wants to say. Hey, hey, hey. And there goes your freedom of choice. There goes the last human voice. And there goes the last DJ.
You know who that is. The Last DJ by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 402-464-5685. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
Kids, as we celebrate mediocrity, all the boys upstairs want to see how much you'll pay for what you used to get for free. And there goes the last DJ who plays what he wants to play and says what he wants.
Once again, your Song of the Day, The Last DJ by the late, great Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. 402-464-5685. 1 is bad, 10 is good. Texture rating on the Sauter Heyman Jewelers Song of the Day.
If you were going to rate Tom Petty's top 50 songs, that probably wouldn't make it, and it's still an 8.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a way to tease that and still give it a high rating.
Yeah, that's still an 8.0. It wouldn't make the top 50, but it's still an 8. He's an incredible artist. He's my favorite artist. I don't
And
mind saying
I
that.
think mine too.
Yeah, we agree
First
on
or
a favorite
second for
artist.
me, yeah.
Yeah, I know that you've said in the past that you've gone away from the Tom Petty channel on Sirius for a little while.
I came back the last few days. I've been like on it strictly. I was back. Yeah. The last 3 days I've just lived on Tom Petty radio again. I everything comes in waves, you know.
OCD.
A little bit.
But anyway, yeah. I'm kind of with you. I didn't go away from it actively. I found myself gravitating away from it for a while, but I'm back. And that thank you for playing that.
You're welcome.
We'll see. Now Harrison is writing over there on the Greek.
Your score again was an 8.0.
Yeah, 8.0. Yeah.
And not even a top 50 Tom
No,
Petty
that's
song.
not a top 50 Petty song. No way.
Yeah, probably not.
No.
Still really good though.
Yes, good.
Harrison. That's how good your catalog is.
Yeah, Harrison.
Okay. I think Harrison appreciates it's pretty upbeat and going.
I think he likes that it's snappy and clever. That's a clever song.
I don't know if Harrison listens to lyrics, so that's the thing. Is he a lyrics guy or not?
He does. He just said he does.
All right.
Harrison is very intelligent.
He is. I'll go with the 4.6 from Harrison.
Higher. He liked it better than that. 6.6.
Whoa. He says 7.8, and Petty's sound always hits different.
That's partly because Harrison looks like he could be a son of Tom Petty. Was he ever in Nebraska? Did your mom know him?
Tom Petty around about 22 years ago in this state.
Don't tell me he doesn't look a little like Petty.
He looks like Petty.
For our people that don't see us, Harrison Charles listens. His dad. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr.
Mr. Arns.
Arns, yeah. My bad on that.
It's Charles. It's say my dad. It's his dad. It's all in fun. It's good fun.
It's
Charles,
good fun. Now,
sorry.
the bottom line is this: for people who don't watch us on any forums, Harrison does sort of look like Tom Petty, right?
Yes, a young Tom Petty.
Yeah, he kind of looks like Tom Petty. Think if Harrison grew his hair out, how much he'd look
It
like.
is pretty long already. He's got a lot of hair.
But if he grew that back out,
if he grew it out,
if he
like,
grew the
it'd
back
be
out,
scary.
you tell me he wouldn't look like Tom Petty.
Yeah,
like almost scary like
I know.
Tom Petty.
I'd make him start singing over there. Bring a guitar and start singing some songs. All right, from the text line, what do you think the ratings are today?
I'd say, I mean, it's always safe to say all over the map, but trending high. on
Okay,
that
here they are. 8.9 Leroy, 4 from Harper, 5 from Harper's dad, 4 from Michael in Carolina, 5.7 Bird in Columbus, a 10 from somebody, 7.1 from Brown Magic, 9. I love the Oldies Great Friday song.
Okay.
It's actually from like 2002, that song. It's not even that old. Scott, a 7. Brian, a 4.1. Rod, a 7.5. Joe, a 6. Jennifer, a 7. I got a yawn face, 1.5. Jake from Breezy.
Breezy.
Sean in Omaha says a 7. Ohio Husker, a 9.2. We got a picture of the Drury Inn for the great Tom Petty.
Tom Petty. He
There'd
would,
be no
he would
space.
maybe own a string of Drury Inns, but he would never play at one.
I got a guess for John in Des Moines.
I don't think John's big on that one. I'll say 5.0.
5.0. That's right.
Nailed
He
it.
says
Nailed
it's.
Could you please acknowledge I just nailed John's score?
You did. He says, I could take it or leave it. Petty's song.
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
Well, that's why I said it's not top 50.
Yeah,
but
it's not
still
top
good.
50. Yeah.
5 from Corey and Lincoln also.
R.
Corey. 7 from Huffy and 8 from Spencer.
Okay. All right.
So thank you.
Yeah,
for that.
I like that. I like your choice. That's fairly creative.
Thank you. Yesterday during the spillover with Schaefer and DJ yesterday,
Jay Foreman,
we were talking about
former Bill.
We were talking about Ben Roethlisberger and the Steelers. He officially retired yesterday. Ben Roethlisberger is officially done. We knew it was happening, but he officially announced it. And you were fascinated by the idea of Aaron Rodgers to the Steelers, right?
The optic.
I'm going to give you a couple other options to see what do you think is the best option for the Steelers to go.
Okay.
You play GM here, okay?
Oh, I'll be happy to.
First of all, you could draft Kenny Pickett in the first round. That's like pick number 20 probably.
That's
there,
one option.
okay?
Give me another one.
And then, or you could trade for any of these guys here. Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson from the Seahawks is probably going to be out of Seattle. Potentially, there's a good chance. Or if you want to take the flyer on Deshaun Watson, you go that route.
Okay, I'll rank those. I mean, obviously, you want number 1's Rodgers, number 2's Wilson, number 3's Pickett. A distant 4 is Deshaun Watson.
I think the reason why Pickett I could maybe go to 2 is just because he played a Pitt.
Harrison likes. Oh, real? That's
come on, man. He's a hometown guy.
I don't care about that. I mean, that doesn't equate to wins.
He was really good at Pitt.
What?
He was really good.
Yeah.
He's gonna be cheaper too as a rookie.
Yeah, go cheap. Yeah, see what that gets you. If you could pick between
Pickett, Rodgers, Wilson,
are you suggesting
Watson.
you take Pickett over Russell Wilson?
No, but he's gonna be a lot cheaper than Russell Wilson. I just said it'd be worth consideration. Are you trying to go the route where you're just doing plug and play for a couple years and then try it over again, or do you want to go right to developing your next guy at quarterback? Because Rodgers will give you probably at the most 2 to 3 years, right?
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
a good
a long term. Russell Wilson gives you more than that. He's got probably 6-7 years.
The reason I keep saying Aaron Rodgers optic I like is because Pittsburgh's a storied franchise. All due respect to DP in Washington, it's not the same level in America. Washington is not on the same level of the Pittsburgh Steelers in the American consciousness. I don't believe. I think that Rodgers would get lost a little bit out there in Washington, not lost at Pittsburgh, not with Tomlin, not with that aura of the Steelers. Tomlin's never had a losing record.
Incredible.
Never had a losing record. Mike Tomlin never has had a losing record in the NFL. put him and Rodgers together, and with those uniforms, with that franchise, that's a very alluring look for the NFL. Very, I mean, extremely.
I can't
not
deny- I
duplicated
can't
in
deny
Washington.
that.
Yeah, you
can't deny
can't. No, of course you can't, because the reality of it is it would be an extremely interesting theater. You would pay close attention to what's going on in Pittsburgh.
I would.
Weekly.
Still be a Dolphins fan, though.
Yeah, sure.
Top of the hour next, an early break in the ticket.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. This is your high school minute.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns. In basketball on Tuesday, January 25th, Norris lost to Bennington 49-43. Lincoln Southwest dominated in their game against Fremont 87-45. It was a team effort as 12 players from Southeast scored, Ryland Smith leading all scorers with 17 points. Lincoln Southwest now sits at 9-5 on the season. The Lincoln Southwest girls would lose to Fremont 49-45. Taylor McGabe for Fremont would lead all scorers with 21 points and would surpass 2,000 career points. Lincoln Pius lost to Omaha Scud 56-51. The Lincoln Pius girls would also lose in their match 45-39. Waverly beat Elkhorn 44-39. The Lincoln Lutheran girls would win over Bishop Newman 28-14. In cross-country news, Fremont's Ellie Dahl has been named the Gatorade Cross Country Runner of the Year. This has been your High School Minute, sponsored by Southeast Community College, with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford. Learn more today at southeast.edu.
Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is all about the good and creating more of it. More drive-through celebrations, more weekend traditions, more family dinners and lunches, more car picnics and road trips, more desserts, maybe more second desserts, more celebrating being together as much as we can. There's always room for more good and more Freddy's. Keep the good going with a taste that brings you back.
Hi, this is Sean Callahan with Koppel Chevrolet GMC. New vehicle production has been increasing, but the lots will not be filling up anytime soon. In fact, most vehicles are being pre-sold and are leaving the same week as they arrive. If you want your new Chevrolet or GMC, this is a great time to build a vehicle and place an order. Our sales team will work right with you to build the exact vehicle you want. At Koppel, we appreciate your business and sell vehicles at a fair price. So come check us out or visit us online at koppelcars.com.
Shopping for insurance can be a tedious and frustrating task, but the agents at Brokers Insurance Agency will do the work for you. They have partnered with over 20 of the best insurance carriers in the nation, which allows them to do the shopping all for you. Whether you're looking for business insurance or employee benefits for your company, or you're looking to save money on your home and auto insurance, Brokers Insurance Agency has the agents and solutions to help meet your goals. Call 402-420-5353 or email staff at brokersinsurancene.com.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Did you know your air ducts can hold up to 17 pounds of dirt, dust, pet dander, and so much more? John Henry's is here to help make the air you breathe cleaner with a duct cleaning. If you've never had your ducts cleaned, now is the best time, especially if you have pets, someone in the home with allergies or asthma, or you've ever done a renovation. Find out more at jhlincoln.com or give John Henry's a call or text today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
Wake up, Lincoln.
Come on, it's 6 o'clock. Rise and shine, rise and shine.
It's time for Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Here's 93.7 The Ticket's Jake Sorensen.
Did seem kind of meh.
And the Lincoln Journal-Star's Steve Sipple.
Surprisingly good.
This is Early Break with Sip and Jake, sponsored by Gaina Trucking.
Welcome back to Hour 2 on a Friday. Steve Sipple, Jake Sorensen, Early Break. Fun show so far. You got the podcast at theticketfm.com. We discussed Nebraska basketball's loss to Wisconsin last night, 73-65. Now 0-9 in conference play also.
There's some good news there, by the way.
What was the good news?
The good news with what's happening with Nebraska men's basketball, there is good news. It has unified the fan base.
Well, has it now?
The fan base is unified in that they think the program's terrible.
Yeah, but some still think it's okay, though.
Not a lot.
I know.
So is this about as unified as this fan base is going to get?
Yep.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, there's not too many. I'm not hearing from that many people. There's still people on my Twitter feed that dig in pretty hard in support of Fred and say, get off his back, Sipple. You're not as hard on Frost as you are Fred. Blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. Yeah, there's trouble over there at PBA.
There was good news also in that arena. The game following the men's game, the women's game, Nebraska did win 77-44 against the Badgers.
Yes, and the women improved their record to 14-4 and 3-4 in the Big Ten, and they did play particularly well.
Yes,
as we mentioned,
never really challenged. They were up by 16 at halftime, and then they kept pulling away in the second half. That's what good teams do. Nebraska basketball, the men are not a great team. We have a caller we have not heard from on the airwaves in a long, long time. I'm talking about Greg in Myrtle Beach. Greg, good morning. You're on Early Break. What do you have for us this fine Friday morning?
What is it? Champagne wishes and caviar dreams, boys. Good morning.
Oh, hello, Greg. How are you? You sound chipper.
Life is great, except we got one issue, guys. Okay, we got the flags down here at half staff. It's still a state of mourning for the on-air loss of the immortal Tom Stevens. And there's a vacuum, a hole in the Myrtle Beach sports radio market. We got to put a GoFundMe together or some type of runs the NIL deal to get our boy Stevens back. It's non-negotiable. I think we go all out Switzer recruiting on this. Let's go hookers and handguns.
Hello.
Let's get our boy Tom back on there. Okay,
Tom Stevens. Yes.
We'll do what we can, Greg.
And by the way, while I got a second, we need to congratulate. You may not know this, but word on the street is we need to congratulate our boy Jake, Mr. Longball. He's not going to brag about it, but let me tell you something. He came down to Savannah, played the Harbor Club at my recommendation, and our boy actually parred Big Duke, the 637-yard par 6 from the tips. So congratulations, John.
Why are we talking about this?
He likes to pump me up, man. That was back in April. That was last year.
Yeah, Greg,
I appreciate that.
Greg, you got to have more than that. Let's get down to it now.
Sip, you can't even see the flag from the tips on that one. Our boy took it down. Okay.
All right.
Let's get down to some business here. Okay. First of all, if you want to make a change in basketball, I'm not giving you this one for free. You hired Eddie Fogler last time. You paid Eddie my boy Eddie $100,000 to give you 10 miles. If you decide to make a change, I got a coach with 500 wins, a National Coach of the Year, a Final Four, 12 conference titles, and Severn Conference Coach of the Year on standby. So that's one phone call away, but you're going to pay for it.
Okay.
Now let's talk about this hoops stuff. Okay.
All right.
Now, if we're going to do first of all, in basketball and football, they both suck. We know that. Now, Fred's job is much harder than Frost, and if you get outside the Husker, and plus Fred has been there 1 year less. Now, we're not making excuses for poor play, okay? But you need to look at this thing from a fair equation. Zip always talks about fair and balance.
Okay.
We need to put our money where our mouth is.
Okay.
If you've got piles of NIL cash to buy a quarterback for the Golden Child, then why don't you put some cash together and let's go buy a point guard?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll address a couple things about basketball and the program and the status of it, because there's some inconsistencies here. Okay, you're talking about how you're saying, well, we lost Hepburn, we didn't get Hepburn. I told you Hepburn was a player. If you watch the state championship game, watch Hepburn go head to head against the Golden Boy Salas when he took it from him and went down and yoked it on him. Okay, Hunter Salas, I told you, because I saw them all, was the most overrated player in the country last year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to talk about recruiting and losing Hunter Salas, here's your numbers. Hunter Salas is averaging 5 a game, 2 boards, and I think 0.8 assists. Bryce McGowan is averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds. He's shooting 40% from the field and 84% from the line. And he played 40 minutes against NC State when I saw him.
Okay.
So who's the only person who was telling you that Hunter Salas was the most overrated player in the country?
You're one of the few. You're one of the few.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because I saw him. Because Bryce proved it against La Malire, IMG Academy, Oak Hill, against the best competition in the country, while Hunter Salas was hiding in his basement in Omaha because he wouldn't come out and play anybody. Then he plays in one event.
Easy.
Everybody who supposedly knows how to scout figures out that Salas can't bounce it. So you can't be a top flight 2 guard if you can't put it on the floor and go get a goal.
Okay.
Now here's what Fred's up against.
Okay.
Is there anybody playing football in the state of Nebraska who made the Sweet 16 equivalent last year? No. 1 hour down the road, you've got a team that made the Sweet 16 last year in basketball with a coach with over 500 wins. And now, does Creighton play football? No, Creighton doesn't play football. So you're talking, but at the same time, we can't get a sniff in football from any of the top players in OPS. None of them. Now you can, because you finally got one recruiter, Mickey. But your problem is, if you think you're going to compete with the SEC or top flight programs with one recruiter, you're crazy. Because everybody down here has 4 or 5 Mickey Josephs. Okay? So now let's get down to the brass tacks of this whole thing. The main problem that you've got a lot of issues out there is because everybody in Nebraska knows everything and everybody's stubborn. Okay? You constantly talk about, we don't have a point guard. We don't have a point guard. Okay? So if you're a reporter, do coaches ever give you information below the radar so that you can pass it on to other people? Does that ever happen?
Yes.
Right. And that's exactly what I've tried to do with you guys multiple times regarding the point guard situation at Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And let's review that very quickly for time constraints.
Okay.
You go back about 5 years ago. I called out there and left a message for Miles, told him who I was, told him that I had sent you 2 pros, and I needed him to call me back because I had a point guard for you. I placed his father at Claflin University in Orangeburg, South Carolina, and I called twice and sent an email and never heard back. And you know who the player was, and Jake knows who the player was, but nobody else in Lincoln does. His first name is Demetrius, and his name is John Moran. He's the best damn point guard in the world.
Hello.
And he went to Murray. I sent you pictures of him, Sip, and you know that.
Yeah, you did.
Young John. Murray State got John Morant literally for a pack of Lance Toast Cheese crackers.
Ooh.
That's all they did. because John's father, told me we're not going anywhere where we've got to beg anybody. You could have had him in Lincoln and built a damn statue for him. So now you're talking about how you don't have a point guard. Okay, you had a point guard last year, Carter Witt, who's on the bench at Wake, who's a good player, who's perfect for Fred's system. And I sniffed out what was going on, and I sent you guys 2 messages about what was happening with Witt.
I can't take blame.
And all of your recruiting minions who don't know squat at 23-6 and Crivals, they don't go anywhere. They don't do anything. So I was in Raleigh working out with a kid. Witt is from Raleigh. Okay. And the word on the street was, well, what's he doing here? He's supposed to be at Brewster Academy. He's supposed to be at Brewster Academy. And that's what all the recruiting minions were telling me. So I sent messages out there. Witt is not at Brewster Academy. Witt is back in Raleigh, and he's here now. And Steve Forbes just took over at Wake Forest. DJ Mackey, who's the assistant coach recruiting him, has his jersey retired. He's the leading scorer in the history of South Carolina basketball. And BJ is all over Witt like a cheap suit. Okay. You better get down here. You better mind the store and get down here. And what did I hear? Nothing. I never heard anything. So you know what Wake did? DJ called me. Here's what Wake did. Wake said, the kid signed with Brewster Academy. Let's see. Who holds the record for scoring at Brewster Academy in a game with 50 points? Oh, it's Thomas Allen. Thomas Allen, who's also from Raleigh. So if you don't think that Carter Witt talked to Thomas Allen, who put a bullet in you, I've got some marshland to sell you. Okay, now then, one more thing.
Okay.
So we're still worried about a point guard. Hey, Jake, you remember when I called you this year? I called you from a shopping center. And I said, look, I've got a kid down here. He's fantastic. Okay. He's a pro. Call him. All right, here, I gave you Willy Wonka and the golden ticket. Here's the names. Here's the AAU coach. Here's the high school coach. This is who you call. Tell him that the shot doctor. Yeah, tell him the shot doctor told you to call. And you're in. Never heard back. Never heard a word. The kid's name is Jazian Gortman. You'll watch him on TV as a pro because he's the #1 point guard in the country. I never heard anything from anybody out there. The kid's #5 in the country. He's the best point guard in the country. He's a pro. I called Brandon Wallace at Overtime Elite. Brandon came to watch the kid play one time. You know what he did, Seth?
What?
$750,000. He's playing in Atlanta right now for Overtime Elite.
Okay.
And you don't know the name now, but you remember Jazian Gortman, and that's the kid I called you guys about.
Okay.
So we've tried to help you. We've tried to build the program the right way. I'm not asking you for anything. We're trying to build something.
Okay.
And get you some NIL money together.
Oh yeah.
And buy and invest some money in the basketball program. The key to the basketball program, as I mentioned to you and Jay, is you turn Trey into Bryce. Now here's how you could have fixed it. You had Wilcher. And when you had Wilcher, C.J. Wilcher is an average player, as you've seen. But the key was the brother Simeon. Simeon is one of the top 3 players in the entire New York City area, all classification. He's fantastic. He's a pro. So why didn't you put some NIL money together for him to get him out there? You could have pivoted from Trey and Bryce, and you could have gotten kids like Gortman and had the program put together. That's how you build with it.
Maybe that's
but
what
people in
they're trying
Nebraska are stubborn and they don't listen. And that's okay. So this is what you've got. You got an empty arena because you don't communicate, and you got nobody who can dribble. You're turning the ball over, okay? And that's what's frustrating for Husker fans outside the bubble. And everything that I just told you about basketball, the same thing can be said for football, but we won't go into that.
Okay. All right. Well,
thank you, Greg.
Yeah, Greg, thank you.
Greg. Appreciate you as always. Thanks.
I don't know. Did I hear correctly? He's basically blaming you. Now,
wait. I love Greg. Greg's.
Oh God! Yeah. I mean,
Greg's been a loyal listener since day one.
And he knows hoops at a super high level.
I think I just got blamed for Nebraska not
point guard issue.
It is my fault. I am sorry, everybody.
No, well, I don't think that's what he's saying. I mean, I'll tell you something. He's got a great point about the Wilcher picture. I mean, that's, the reason CJ Wilcher's here. Well, I'm sure a lot of the reason is because he does have a brother who happens to be one of the nation's best players. So, Abdul Masi, Matt Abdul Masi, he's on the right track there. It's just, I just don't know if they can get to next year right now.
Right.
I hear what Greg's saying. I think he's frustrated because he does, I think he wants, he has access and knowledge to players, and he could set Nebraska up. And I'm not sure they always listen, but hey, Greg, in Abdul Masi's defense, he has his network, and he has to trust his network. And Abdul Masi did tell the World Herald this week that he feels like, he was getting asked about in-state recruiting and not getting Chucky Hepburn, Hunter Salas, Isaac Trout, the Morrell kid at Stanford. I don't know that Nebraska wanted him, but et cetera. And he said, look, we feel like the players we've gotten are the players we want, and that our recruiting operation is working. Now, a lot of people took issue with those comments, right? Abdul Masi's comments, for obvious reasons, right? They're 5-43 in the Big Ten. Is it really working? And then the more germane question is, does it look like it's going to work?
The answer to that is no.
Right. Now, so that's kind of where we're at. But as far as Greg goes, I think Greg's frustration is that he has forwarded names, ideas that were probably ignored largely. So I understand where he's coming from, and he does understand. I mean, he's right about Ja. Went to Murray State, and I mean
look at him now.
Yeah, that would have changed the world here a little bit if he was at Nebraska. Ja Morant.
Imagine Ja Morant. Great passer, great scorer, great defender, great everything. Amazing athlete.
Yeah.
Ja Morant.
He's an NBA All-Star.
He's tearing it up with the Grizzlies right now.
In Memphis.
Yep. Number 2 overall pick.
What else
your
takeaways from Greg?
Well, it's still my fault that we didn't get players here.
Oh, I don't.
And yours partly too.
Yeah, mine too. Yeah,
we are the problem here.
Well, I think he's being facetious.
Understood.
I don't. Now he kind of made a comparison, a light comparison between Fred and Frost situation. He's right. Fred's in year 3. Frost just completed year 4, so it's a little different. I would also say the level of futility looks a lot different to me. The men's basketball level of futility exceeds that of football. If you look at the routes, that Nebraska's not really competitive in basketball. And a lot of the time, Auburn, 30-plus loss. At Rutgers, 30-point loss. Auburn, Michigan, Purdue. I mean, that wasn't happening in football, Greg. I mean, they weren't getting their doors blown off in football.
There's so many things about this Nebraska ball era that compared to the Mike Riley era that it's wild. Think about this, Sip. Think about in the Mike Riley era, they had the year that started off 7-0. So that was something that was actually success in the middle of an overall disappointing three-year era. But we've always fixated on recruiting, but we fixated on it so much during the Riley era, where we talked about Buki Radley Hiles and all these different guys, and we talked about 4 and 5 stars interested. It's been the same thing for Nebraska basketball. We've always wanted that talent, and Nebraska has been talking up these great classes that they've had and talking up the big transfers from Xavier and other big schools, and it all ends up just being talk, and this doesn't show up on the court or the field. It's very similar to what Nebraska football did with Mike Riley. The recruiting was such a huge picture. We were all teased about, we're talking to this 5-star, we're on this high 4-star. It was more important about the recruiting than the actual results in the field.
Well, sometimes that's intentional. It's a smoke and mirrors.
It's the same thing here for basketball.
Yeah, it's sort of a smoke and mirrors discussion. We can use that to dupe the people. I mean, everything's fine.
Right, exactly.
Everything's fine because look what we got coming. Well, that's another year at $3.5 million, right? And maybe we can get one more year out of it. It always feels like that to me. Now, well, okay, that's pretty cynical, but what's happened at Nebraska has made us a little more cynical, I think, right? Especially about recruiting. Let's put it this way. Let's just be very real. What it's done to you, my co-host, and I've watched this over 5 years, you've gone to this, you don't even acknowledge recruiting most of the time. And you notice I don't take issue with it. This is not a critique. This is something this is an observation. Nebraska will get a commitment from the transfer portal from Omar Brown, an FCS sophomore All-American, and we will not mention it on the show.
I forgot to talk about it.
Yeah. And
I
that's
asked
fine.
Sean about it. I asked,
Yeah, that's
Parker.
fine. Yeah, but we don't make it a focal point of our rundown. And oftentimes it's not included on our rundown because I think you're sort of over it. Am I reading you right?
Yes.
That
I've been let down.
Yeah.
By trusting in the stars.
We've been doing this show for 5.5 years. Okay. Early on in the show, 5 years ago, if there was a recruiting commitment, we would have a discussion about it.
You're right.
I've noticed in the last year and a half, I will look at the rundown you send me on the day before the show after a commitment on a day where there's a verbal commitment. And oftentimes it's not even on the rundown.
Or it's an also thing.
Yeah.
And
Also.
also.
Yeah. They got a commitment.
By the way.
Yeah. Cause I think that am I reading you correctly? Is that cynicism?
Yes. We have been let down collectively as a fan base by focusing on these kids who are oftentimes in high school. Sometimes it's the portal in college, but focusing all this energy on guys that either don't stick around or they don't play.
Yeah, there's a distinction to be made here, though, between lavishing praise and putting immediate expectations on a high school player versus doing it with a player like Casey Thompson. Charles is his father. Casey is proven at a high level. I don't mind doing that with Casey Thompson. I don't mind doing that with Trey Palmer because Trey Palmer proved it in the SEC. I don't mind talking about them with excitement and putting expectations on those guys. It doesn't feel cynical. It does with high school kids to me still. What are we talking about? Yeah, you're right. First of all, they might not be here. Second of all, we've been burned so many times that I've lost track. I get it though. What the recruiting services are selling is hope, and that never goes out of style. It's always effective. Hope will forever be something to sell, and you can do it, at a high level. Hope is a beautiful thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what the recruiting services are largely selling you. They take advantage of that concept, selling hope.
Right.
This is the elixir that will solve your problems, sir.
And
I am coming into your town and telling you that, and then I'm going to the next town and selling it.
But we took,
and you will never
elixir.
see me again.
Right. We took in the elixir for a lot of times, and now it has proven that it's spoiled. I'm not saying it's very important to get players here. I'm not saying recruiting is not important.
And I'm not saying that
entirely
either.
important, but
to build up our hope,
the amount of focus that we have put in, and the amount of effort and energy talking about kids that might not be here in a year after they commit is just incredible. Think about, and again,
just Bookie Radley Hiles.
Well, that's one.
Is the one.
I know
that's the one who put me over the edge.
That was terrible. But even I know this was a COVID thing mostly, but think about a couple years ago, and you had Keyshawn Green come in from Florida, and he left, didn't even make it. He went back to FAU, right? With COVID was a big.
It was big. Yeah.
Henry Gray.
The Florida
all
kids.
those guys.
Now that was largely a COVID issue. Those guys.
I understand, but
those guys.
We put a lot. We spent a lot of energy on saying how those guys would be important. Jaden Francois would be important to this team, and they never played here.
No, I know they left after not even 1 year. Yeah, I thought Bookie Radley Howes was the more germane example because he was literally coming to spring games and signing autographs for Nebraska fans. There were lines of fans.
Was the other one Joseph Lewis too?
Yeah, that was a big one.
They had they all had the number on.
They had their summer.
Right. summer camp.
Yeah, there's Nebraska, there's summer camp, and I noticed one day all the assistants, not all the assistants, but a lot of the Riley assistants were wearing shirts with a number on them. I think it was 5.
It was 4. I think it was 4. 4 or 5.
Yeah, and I said to somebody, Sean Callahan, maybe, what is that? Why are they? Oh, that's Joseph Lewis's number. Oh boy. Yeah, that'll breed cynicism a little bit.
It has
in the old columnist,
and
you know
me, the young
going
on
buck.
old quickly.
Yeah.
We'll have more.
All right.
next time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you
to Greg and
Greg
listeners.
and Myrtle Beach. We
Yes.
really appreciate it.
Thank you, Greg. We'll have more next on Early Break in the Ticket. Last thing before break, guys, it's getting darker and colder outside every day. That means your time playing golf, tennis, whatever you do outside is getting limited, but you can always find things to do inside, including craft axe throwing in Lincoln. They're open 7 days a week from 4 to 9 p.m. on Monday through Thursday, from noon to 11 on Friday, Saturday, and from noon to 9 on Sunday. Parties and events are welcome anytime. For more information, call them at 402-802-9696 or go to craftaxethrowing.com. That's Craft Axe Throwing, 18th and N in Lincoln.
Freddy's Frozen Custard and Steak Burgers is all about the good and creating more of it. More drive-through celebrations, more weekend traditions, more family dinners and lunches, more car picnics and road trips, more desserts, maybe more second desserts. More celebrating being together as much as we can. There's always room for more good and more Freddy's. Keep the good going with a taste that brings you back.
What does better service mean? At Allo, it means that you get the best fiber internet available at prices that work for you. Better service means installers who show up on time. Better service means no billing shenanigans. Better service means a real person answers the phone. If you're not paying for better service, what are you paying for? Get Allo. Get better service. Switch today at allofiber.com/better service.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season, enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games. Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com or visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
This
Anybody who knows me knows I was cocky out of the womb.
is Early Break with Sip and Jake, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. Weekday mornings from 6 to 8 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Thanks again to Greg at Myrtle Beach
Yes.
for calling in. Greg is great because he's polarizing. You read the text line during Greg's interview when he calls in.
Mm-hmm.
There's half that love Greg and half that don't like Greg, and I think he probably knows that. Greg's
Yeah.
aware of that. He's
Yeah.
he's polarizing.
Yeah, I'm on the love side.
I love
because,
Greg, man.
because he knows basketball at a super high level. He does. Say what you want about him. He understands what it takes, and he does. He's involved in it, and he knows the game really well. He does more than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Hard to admit that. But
Yeah.
I'm out of coffee too.
Yeah, well, there's some back there still.
I'm out of coffee.
Unless Harrison drank it all. Harrison pounds coffee.
He does.
Hey, look at he looks down. Harrison has like
Yeah.
3 or 4 cups of coffee.
Yeah, you don't have to
Not
ask
cup, I'm
Harrison.
talking mug, like 3 or 4 mug, which is like 8 cups basically.
Yeah, I quit asking Harrison if he got coffee.
You already know. Yeah, you already had 2
Does he
cups.
have some coffee? Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had plenty of it. Yeah. All
What else
right.
you got there, Sparky?
Well,
big Sunday ahead.
yeah, we got NFL Sunday, and it's conference championship Sunday.
Oh,
you will have at 2 p.m.
Okay, run it down.
On CBS, you will have Bengals at Chiefs.
Okay.
I checked this morning. It was the Chiefs still a 7-point favorite in that game.
So that's Romo.
That should be Romo Nance. Yep.
Yeah.
Romo Nance on that one. And then Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Oh, it's beautiful.
At 5:30, we'll call the 49ers at the Rams.
Okay. Those are great games. And those are those are the 2 best pairs of commentators too, by the way.
What game?
I'm a
intrigues you
Niners
more?
fan.
That one, you're gonna say that one intrigues you more, really?
Um,
Rams, Niners.
I
round
know
3?
it's not the popular take around here, what with Zach Taylor coaching for the Bengals, the Chiefs being sort of a local team, all that. I'm a bandwagon Niners fan now. I love the way they run the ball. I love Deebo Samuel. I appreciate how physical that team is. I'm a big fan of Kittle. I want to see if they can get to the Super Bowl with a subpar quarterback, Jimmy G. I'm calling him subpar. What would you call him?
Well, to me, the Niners resemble like Nebraska from back in the day, because Nebraska never had a great passing quarterback, right? They always were. Their
quarterbacks are better.
I know, but like the quarterbacks right now in the finals, the championships are Matt Stafford, great. Patrick Mahomes, obviously elite, and Joe Burrow, very good. And then Jimmy Garoppolo, is not bad, but he's not anywhere near the caliber of those quarterbacks.
No, not even in the neighborhood.
So
right?
they're doing it in a way like Nebraska did, where they pound you. They're physical. Man. That's the most physical team left in the playoffs.
They are
by
physical.
far.
They
right?
are physical. That's probably why I gravitate toward them. I like that physicality. And I like Deebo. I mean, I'm a big Deebo Samuel fan. He's fun to watch. He's a team guy. He's an interesting player. He's a very unique player, right?
Yeah. I love Deebo. Deebo's
It's
a great
very
story, too.
unique.
Deebo didn't come in with any sort of high accolades.
Second round pick.
Yeah, second round pick.
From South Carolina. And he's become this sort of interesting figure in the NFL. This guy that's capable of playing both receiver at a super high level
Yes.
and running back at a super high level. I think he's I think he's better than Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah. As a running back?
Yeah, I do.
Probably.
It's a little different. I mean, Mitchell's obviously a pure running back, and you know, Samuel is a slash player. But Debo's interesting to me in a lot of ways. But anyway, yeah, I'm probably gearing up for the Niners Rams more than I am for the Chiefs Bengals, in part because I think the Chiefs have a market edge in that game. I understand what, like Bill mentioned it. The Bengals it wasn't that long ago the Bengals beat Kansas City.
Yes, in Cincy. That was a great game.
Yeah, I think that
Jamar Chase had like 260 yards receiving in that game.
Yeah, it's just hard to imagine for me that Mahomes would go down in this game in Arrowhead. The way he's playing,
Or
right
the
now.
way that they just beat the Bills with needing 13 seconds to force overtime.
Right. And the Bengals winning, but giving up 9 sacks to Tennessee.
Right.
The Chiefs have a pretty good pass rush, right?
They do. It's not as
pretty
good.
good.
It's not quite as good as Tennessee's is.
Right. I did see Melvin Ingram
Yep. He's still there.
waylay the left tackle for whoever they just play,
The Bills.
with a forearm and put him on the ground, which was Romo started to talk about it, but there's so much going on in the final moments of that Chiefs Bills game that he just kind of glossed over it. I need to go back on YouTube and watch that play where Melvin Ingram coming off the edge, swings his arm and puts the left tackle or right tackle for the Bills on the ground. It's one of the most vicious plays. Clean.
If you want to watch a more vicious play by Melvin Ingram, go back to the final week of the NFL regular season.
Okay.
When the Broncos were, I think they were up by 1, I believe. They're up by 1. And they're going in for a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
And Melvin Ingram comes off the edge and just blasts the running back, and he fumbles, and then they get a guy that goes 86 yards the other way for a touchdown. I mean, that was
vicious.
That was vicious. That was like Clowney against Michigan back in the day when they blew that running back's head off.
Okay. Yeah.
At South Carolina.
Well, Melvin Ingram is I would say a vicious good player in a good way. I'm not suggesting for 1 second that these plays were dirty. It was remarkable is what it was. Anyway, he'll be in the backfield. He'll be in the Cincinnati backfield. So
Chris Jones, the defensive tackle there, he's very good.
Yeah. And the Chief, Arrowhead will be in full throat.
Yes.
It'll be very difficult. And it was very difficult for Josh Allen at times. And now I got to be careful what I'm saying because Josh Allen diced him up.
Josh Allen was incredible.
Yeah.
Josh Allen did not lose that game.
No.
He was the reason why they had a chance to win.
Yeah, and I just was going to say he struggled with that crowd. There were occasions where it was clear that the Arrowhead crowd was affecting Buffalo, but not that much. I mean, that just shows you the level of competence that those NFL teams have to deal with crowds of that nature. Arrowhead crowd was incredible for the Bills game.
Yeah.
And it will be incredible on Sunday.
I think everyone agrees. I hope we have competitive games all the way through.
Yeah.
The one you're concerned about for a potential, not blowout, but not a rout would be Chiefs Bengals in the favor of Chiefs at home.
Right. So
having been there.
You don't think the Rams could blow out the Niners?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope. Okay. No, the Niners have beat them, I think, twice this year.
Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's what
they don't. I think they're probably sad to see the Niners in that game. They're like, I don't want to play the Niners.
Okay.
I know they're the 6th seed, but that team has our number. They play us and they beat us.
Okay, good.
The Rams, as I told you, if you go back to the final week of the regular season, the Rams were up 17-0 in LA on the Niners, knowing that if they won, Niners are not in the playoffs. The Saints win, they're in the playoffs, Niners are out. And the Niners came all the way back. They force overtime and they win. And now here they are in the NFC title.
Now you got to do it again. You got to beat them again. Yeah. Yeah, the thing I'd wonder right off is if you watch the Green Bay game, it was a very physical game between the Niners and the Packers. Kittle was limping at the end of the game. Debo took a beating in that game. How is their health? That's one thing I'd wonder right off. Why are you smiling?
I'm just looking at the spread here. Again, Chiefs, Bengals. Chiefs are a 7-point favorite. I see tickets are as low as $420 for that game. As low as.
Yeah, I was going to say that's not very low.
That's a quotation as low as. And then for the Niners and Rams, the spread is the Rams 3.5-point favorites in that one.
I would take the
Tickets
Chiefs to
tickets
cover.
$5.35 in that one.
Wow.
More expensive at SoFi Stadium.
Yeah, the NFL is where it's at, my friend. I would take the Chiefs to cover, and I'll take the Niners to win.
What did you just say? Please, I'm not going to gloss over that. Please repeat what you just said, and Harrison's going to cut this up.
I said the NFL is where it's at, my friend.
Words I was begging for years.
Well,
for
the
you to say. You
playoffs
have finally admitted
the playoffs have swung
the
me.
grass is greener on the other side.
The playoffs have swung me.
Good.
It's been amazing playoffs, right?
Yes, it has. But the first round was not great. The second round was amazing, and I hope that the third round is even better. Okay. Let's play the game show. Give us a call right now, 464-5685. Your chance to win a business box of bagels to Bagels and Joe. You've already clinched a losing week at 1-3, but can you get a second win? Or will you go 1-4? Today, Bradley Cooper is our Film Friday actor.
Bradley Cooper?
Speaking of your Bradley Cooper movies, give us a call at 464-5685. Shut Up Sipple starts right now.
We've all been there. You're listening to the radio, and then that rage starts to grow inside of you. It starts to consume you. It gets to a point where you just want to yell, "Shut up, Sipple!" No, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, here's your chance. It's time to shut up, Sipple. Call now to play. 464-5685. Shut up, Sipple. Brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Harrison has informed me on the grease board that since the reset, this is game 100 today. And Sip, you are the epitome of mediocrity. And this 49-50 is your record. So will you get to equal 500 or will you be below 500 still?
Oh, no, I'm pretty impressed that Harrison came up with that. Game 100. We started the reset in August of.
Yeah, it was the first week of the football season. We started the Monday of that week. We reset the schedule.
It's going incredibly fast. I really would love to be 50-50 walking out of here today.
Austin, how do you feel about Bradley Cooper movies?
I feel pretty good.
All right, Austin.
Austin, frequent caller. Thank you for calling again.
Yes, Austin, here we go.
Yeah.
First question goes to you. In what 2018 movie does Cooper play a musician who helps a young singer find fame as age and alcoholism send his own career into a downward spiral?
Star is Born.
That's with Lady Gaga.
That's right.
Yeah, that's a
You
good
would have
movie.
you would have told me the description, not had.
No,
the
I
name
would
of
have
it.
got the movie absolutely.
Oh, it's got Lady Gaga. It's got oh, you would have had the name too.
Yeah, I would have.
All right, 1-0 lead for Austin. For the tie, Sip, your first question. In what 2012 movie does Cooper play a former teacher who moves back with his parents?
Silver Linings Playbook.
That is by far and away the quickest you've ever gotten a
It's a
Film
great movie.
Friday
It's a
answer.
great movie. Great movie.
Should I finish the question?
Yeah, go ahead.
After a stint in a mental institution, and he tries to reconcile with his ex-wife.
Yeah, I can.
What
relate
gave it
on a lot
away?
of levels to that movie. What?
What gave it away so quickly? He moved back with his parents?
No, I like De Niro in that movie.
I didn't say De Niro. I said Cooper.
I know, but I know, but I love De Niro's in that movie, and he plays a great character. Jennifer Lawrence is fabulous in that movie. HOTTT, fabulous, and yeah.
Whoa.
This is really
Austin, I heard that.
All right, let's
All
go.
right, Austin, for the lead, your last question. In what 2014 movie does Bradley Cooper play Navy SEAL Chris Kyle, whose pinpoint accuracy saves countless lives on the battlefield and turns him into a legend?
Oh, that's I know it's not Shooter, but it's something like that. Crap.
5
I'm gonna go with,
seconds.
I guess, Sniper.
Can't do it. I got to steal it. I hate to do this to you, Austin. It's a great movie. I've seen it 3 times. It's American Sniper.
Yep, had to have the American part though. I think that's fair. All right, Sip for the win. If you miss this though, Austin can steal and go the tiebreaker. Sip, in what 2013 movie does Bradley Cooper play a wild FBI agent who forces a con man and his seductive partner, played by Christian Bale and Amy Adams, to work for him, where they are pushed into a world of power brokers and the mafia?
It's got to be American Hustle, right?
This was a shocking game today, and Austin's gone. Austin.
Why is it shocking?
Austin shut up on you and he lost today.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had that much Bradley Cooper in
I
your
love
repertoire
American
there.
Sniper. Love Stars Born. Saw American Hustle.
You would have had all four of these because you didn't have A Star Is Born was Austin's
Right.
question.
I would have had them all. Yeah.
You had all four Bradley Cooper ones.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, man.
Silver Linings Playbook is one of my there's a lot of people that would back me on that. I'm trying to think like Nicole would. I've recommended the movie Nicole.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Nicole
really good
Griffith.
movie.
Yeah. Well, that gets you back to 500. I think what Harrison did was he got you going.
feel
today.
good
He
about
said,
this.
"I got to get to 500 for 100 games."
Hey, make sure you change that on the board, Harrison.
50
he's
and
got
50 and
50 and 50.
It's pretty good. It is. I mean, come on, 500 is pretty good. All right, before we get to last question, how old is Bradley Cooper?
47. He's got to be 40. I mean,
what's going on? What is this? You got the first question after 6 words.
Something made me look it up recently.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and I can't remember what it was.
Okay, so you looked this up
Yeah,
recently.
47. But I knew he was in that range for sure.
I think I speak on behalf of the people and say that might be your most impressive performance ever in the history of Shut Up Simple. And we've done it for a long time.
Yeah, those movies are just hit with. I mean, there's some Cooper movies that you could have gave me that I would not know.
Yeah, but you got them without having to describe them. But you got Silver Linings Playbook within 7 words.
Seen it probably 4 times.
I was not even done with the description yet.
Probably seen it 4 times.
Incredible. I think the people are blown away today.
Well, sometimes I hit.
By the way, before we get to break, caller 6 right now at 402-464-5685. Compliments of us and Great Clips will win a free haircut.
God, that's a big deal.
To Great Clips.
That is big.
Get your weekend off to a fresh start. Cut the hair and get a haircut.
Yeah, don't cut your own.
No,
Go to Great
there are 7 Great Clips in Lincoln. We will give you can caller 6 right now at 402-464-5685. Will win a free haircut. Compliments of the ticket and Great
If you
Clips.
cut your own, it'll look like Jake's. You'll have to wear a cap.
I haven't worn a cap in a while. My hair is perfect, just like Adam Furley's. Shout out Furley.
No, your hair's not like Adam's.
That's better. You're right. We'll bring in DP next for the spillover on early break on the ticket.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies expected for the majority of the day, although we should break into some sunshine by this afternoon. High temps only around 38, northwest winds at around 10 to 15. Mainly clear tonight with a low dropping down to around 20. Tomorrow, an incredible warm-up on the way. We'll see mostly sunny skies with an afternoon high of 57. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Landmark Implement, your local John Deere dealership, is hosting their annual sprayer clinic at the Buffalo County Fairgrounds in Kearney, Nebraska, February 2nd and 3rd. Landmark Sprayer Clinic offers expansive equipment and technology training on different models of John Deere and Hagie sprayers. Learn about the newest technology, machine maintenance, spray tip selection, and more. We'll be offering free dicamba certification. Join us February 2nd and 3rd in Kearney. RSVP by calling your local Landmark location or at landmarkimp.com/events.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in Falls City, Hebron, Nebraska City, Plattsmouth, Wahoo, and York so that you can take credit and non-credit classes at a center nearby without having to travel an hour or more to campus. By taking online classes and those at a learning center, you can earn your degree from SCC where and when it's convenient for you, all at a cost that won't stand in the way of your education. Learn more about SCC's learning centers at southeast.edu/learning centers. SCC, your path to possible.
Mike Shaver here for Trek CBD. There's a lot of CBD shops opening up in Lincoln, but Trek CBD focuses on quality above all else. Their products are from local CBD company Nico Farms and are third-party laboratory tested. They have products that can help with stress, anxiety, pain, relief, and more, and have a wide selection of Delta 8, including Serene 8. Trek CBD is locally owned and operated. Go visit Scott or Shannon at their 84th and Highway 2 location or at 27th and S, or go online to Trek CBD with free delivery. Trek CBD. CBD done right.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back in the future. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now they've raised wages again and they're hiring for production operators at $22.07 per hour and other select jobs starting at $23.77 per hour, with wages growing up to $29.71 per hour. Continental also has salaried jobs available and great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or to apply, go to continental-jobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
You know you want that smoky, tangy, sweet, and spicy sauced and tossed Wingstop. But you just brought a haul of groceries home from the store. It's cool. No one expects you to shop and cook in the same day. So let the flavor experts at Wingstop hook you up with mouth-watering wings, crispy tenders and thighs, fries and sides delivered to your door. You can always cook tomorrow. That's why the fridge was invented. Get it delivered at wingstop.com.
Order online now from the new Wingstop located at 5001 O Street.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
From here.
Back
Well, party's starting early today, isn't it?
to more of Early Break with Sip and Jay, brought to you by Gaina Trucking. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We welcome in DP for the spillover. DP, have you ever heard somebody describe somebody as HOTT hot?
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
How many times besides just one?
Oh no. It's so there's a point of what's the movie? Life.
Okay.
With
Life.
Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence, etc. And there's a quote in there that he says, "Yeah, you're soft with extra T's."
Oh,
soft.
okay.
So there's some
Okay,
point of
all right,
reference to it.
Soft.
Yeah, you're soft with the
Triple
extra
T soft.
with the extra T soft. Like it's that's so hot. Yeah,
I just was taken aback by HOTT hot.
Triple T. So
Yeah, what's that mean?
So what's double T?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, there we go.
Who's
Yeah.
double T, and then who's triple T?
Okay, let me think about this.
Okay.
Jennifer Aniston.
Double T.
Double T.
Double
hot.
T.
All right, yeah.
And then who's triple T?
Jennifer Lawrence.
Wow.
Oh,
I don't know what to do with that.
Is there a
Could get uncomfortable.
well,
quadruple T. Yeah.
Well,
Can
no.
we talk about quarterbacks?
No, it's a level of it's a level of
Aaron
curiosity.
Rodgers.
It's a level of curiosity about that person.
Yeah.
So if you tell me Jennifer Lawrence is more interesting to you than Jennifer Aniston, that
There's some things that are more interesting too.
yeah, okay. Okay.
All right. We'll move
Let's
on.
talk
So he
Roethlisberger.
walked right back
Yeah.
into it. He was like I was on the ledge. I got nervous. He
You
jumped
walked-
away and then ran straight back to the place I was. So fair.
Well, I figured I'd throw that out just to get out of it. Because if I make it too uncomfortable, then we'll naturally get out. So
Okay.
we're out.
Fair.
Oh, well, Rico has.
Oh,
no, Rico, don't bring us pull us back in.
There are infinite realities, correct?
there are about 4 realities where Jennifer Lawrence is hotter than Jennifer Aniston.
Okay. Well, we don't need to talk about him though.
You were,
but we were gonna start talking about.
I just had to get my point across.
Okay.
Rico has zero respect for dismount.
No.
Yeah. We just
we
dismount.
dismount. He jumps right back in. I'm going to bring you right back to where you were.
Look, radio's behind.
Yeah.
Right. He's
Hi, Rico.
Yeah, hi,
Good
Rico.
morning.
Yeah. Thanks, Rico.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk sports.
Yeah. All right. Tomorrow, Sunday, you have the AFC, NFC championship games. You have Chiefs, Bengals, Niners, Rams. DP, you're a big football guy, big NFL guy. What matchup do you want to see of those in the Super Bowl? What do you want to see?
Yeah, what do you want to see?
We talked about it on Old School Tuesday.
Okay.
And a big thing for me is normally there's a villain in these playoffs. There's a villain. I don't think this year's Final Four for the NFL has a villain. You don't have
What's the
any
closest.
Isn't Mahomes getting there because he's been there 4 straight years now?
No. Mahomes is getting there because of his knucklehead brother.
No, that's true. That's true. That's true.
TikTok brother.
That's true.
Who? I mean,
what are you saying?
And then his fiance wife, whatever, spraying people with champagne.
That was poor look. That was a poor look.
Yeah, there's some weird balances where people just go, okay, I don't need I will make plans to go to the Super Bowl if Kansas City goes, just so I can be. I'm going to find the Terry Tate jersey, office linebacker jersey.
Yes.
And if young Mahomes finds himself on the sideline with a camera and decides he's going to dance on the logo of the Super Bowl on the sideline, I will Terry Tate him. I will Terry Tate him.
Office linebacker.
I will Goldberg spear him into a new reality.
You know what's funny?
Like,
That would be a great TikTok.
I'm going to give him the lesson that he should have got years ago.
This is Mahomes' brother.
Yeah, Jackson Mahomes.
It's just disrespectful and childish. And I understand people are enjoying themselves and to take opportunity to TikTok or whatever, but listen, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the football game. And hey, guess what? It's about your brother.
Yep.
And you didn't do anything to be there other than to come from the same gene pool.
That's
like
right.
You literally have donated zero to society, and you're very not interesting. So I'm not one to get into other people's business. So
No, you're not.
Kansas City Chiefs fans, I'm just letting you know, if you guys win Sunday and you go to the Super Bowl, if you see young Mahomes lurking on the sidelines with a pass, look for a red number 56 jersey. Because I'm going to separate him like Goldberg did Roman Reigns. This is going to be one of those, I'm going to pull a wrestling move from 1980 and absolutely end the nonsense that goes on from a regular basis. So there's that.
You're
The
too
bad
nice
thing-
of a guy to do that.
DP, the bad thing is that would get him more views.
That's okay.
You're helping him
but
out.
those are the right views. Those
Okay.
are the right.
Okay.
Those are the right views.
And also the Brittany Mahomes, his fiance wife,
Yeah.
whatever she is currently.
Yeah.
The champagne apparently from fans beneath where they were sitting, they all were asking her to. They were like, they were like, blow this, pop the champagne.
Does Rico? See, here's I'm a grown up. I'm a grown bleeping man.
Yes, you are.
And people ask you to do stupid stuff all the time.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Mhm.
Hey, you know what? Those things are usually led by, hey, you know what you ought to do? Something bad follows that. Like something really stupid.
Right.
A lot of times.
Oh, like,
Pretty much always,
right?
right?
So listen, I don't know. You're a community leader now, Mrs. Mahomes. Stop. Like, lead them instead of, you know what? I'm just going to waste champagne because I have so much money that I don't care. So I'm going to make it rain. So the same people that don't like Make It Rain really should not like Make It Rain champagne. Like, it's all the same thought. It's just so. As a matter of fact, now that Jay Foreman is here, I'm going to
Jay's
ask.
here.
We're going to go back in time. Jay Foreman, you're on the sideline of the Super Bowl. Kansas City has won. They're there. Young Mr. Mahomes, the little brother,
Jackson
is there going to TikTok dance on the sideline next to you. What's the over under? How many seconds does it take before you Terry Tate off his linebacker? That dude.
I'm like, dude, I'd push him out the way. I'm not being involved in that. Yeah. I'm not. I mean, if he, I'm sure he tries to get people to be like, nah, man, nah. But I would have to. I mean,
would close. He would Stan Hansen lariat this
guy. It would be something. He'd probably get a D. Maybe. Well, I'd like to figure 4 him, but probably after a game, I don't want to get down and get any more dirty. But I think Patrick Mahomes is different because you'd like to think that the locker room would tighten him up, but he's an iconic player in Kansas City. So he actually, listening is he probably hear you, probably blow you off because what is only other guy on the team that could really say something is Travis Kelce, and Travis Kelce probably right along with it, because he does but that would be something that Andy Reid needs to talk to or upper management, as far as especially when he went to the Redskins and danced on Sean Taylor's number.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
is that what he did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Mahomes did that?
Yeah.
His brother.
Okay, now I see why.
But then that's on Patrick Mahomes because even if your brother did it, right? You say, look, man, you got to chill for a couple of weeks, right?
Well,
back off.
He doesn't have to get the sideline pregame pass.
Well, then those are eliminated after that.
Like the Chiefs just say, no, dude, you can't go down and embarrass us every Sunday.
Right. That's where upper management talks to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes then talks to his brother. Okay, you need to, take a break for a couple of weeks, get your mind right. You can still TikTok, just do it. Don't disrespect a great. Don't do it. I mean, this is common sense, right? Mm-hmm. Now, as far as his wife, she hasn't gotten to the finish line yet. So she's a fiance right now.
She is not.
She's a fiance, so she hasn't got to the finish line. So even though she's got the little baby, but that's not the true finish line. But at the end, no, I'm just joking. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
Patrick Mahomes is probably cool. I mean,
well, that's the rule.
At some point in time, he's cool with it.
That's the rule. See, Jay is speaking gospel in that in the NFL wives world, young lady Mahomes' fiance she's not in the club.
She's not made yet.
Right. Like she's not a mate. Right.
She's not in Mafia yet, man. I was watching that last night.
The difference between those who have the contract and those free agents. It's like, darling, look, you're a preferred free agent.
She's gonna mess around and end up like Russell Wilson's first wife.
Oh, we don't even remember her name. Whoa. We don't even remember her name.
She's not Sierra.
Right. Like we don't remember her. Like,
you just got to be okay with taking that L, right?
Like there are a whole.
That's like getting traded in for like Denzel or The Rock or
I got it. I get
it. What's his name? David Beckham or whatever the heck his name is.
I don't think they were married.
Brady.
I think that was just his girlfriend, the one that was in his draft picture.
No, they were married.
They were married.
Were they married?
He got divorced.
That's
know that.
Yeah, he's take that.
Yeah,
you got to take that L.
Denzel.
I mean, if somebody like that, you just.
You remember Brady's first?
No, it's
Brady's first wife.
It's RG3's first wife.
Tom Brady's first wife.
Like we don't know
Brady's first wife.
No. We can't. No. That's a different. That's a different conversation because his first wife was in the game. Like she was in the game. So we. But RG3 first wife, like he met her early, took her to Baylor. She went through all of that, the Heisman Award, all that stuff. Got to DC, he was like deuces.
Oh wow! Oh, hello. Rough. That's DC.
Rough.
Yeah,
we're out. So
she took an L.
That line is serious. That line in the sand that
line is serious. It's just like the thin line between wins and losses, right? Except in the basketball team. You're a little salty with your little tweets there.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, you were.
Should I read the one tweet?
You read the one tweet?
Yeah, I'll find it.
Yeah, you're a little salty there, man. That was a Steve Sipple
I'm
jab.
Hang on.
Yeah.
You slip hooked him. You was like in when you kind of like get locked up, and then you gave him a little body blow when on the release, just to let him know you were there.
All right, here was the tweet that
you noticed this yesterday, Jay?
Sip. I think this is the one. I think this is the one
everybody notices when you go salty.
All right, here's what it was. It says Bryce McGowan's just got a flop warning.
Yep, that was it.
I gave Fred Hoiberg a flop warning some time ago, if you know what I mean.
Hey, here's when you know.
Whoa!
Here's if I was a coach, right? Well, I can't say. I know these guys have been here, been in the confines of Lancaster County for a game before. But when you got Dirk and Chattel, that's the buzzers are starting to start. The vultures are starting to kind of. They come out on when they smell blood. You know what I'm saying? So I saw Dirk leave, and I still think like how are you even? Because he walked like where the players come out. Like how are you?
When was this? What are you talking about?
At the game last night.
Was Dirk there yesterday?
Oh yeah. You come on.
I didn't see him. I did not see Dirk.
That's the thing. That's you didn't see him, but I saw Dirk.
I didn't see
he
him.
left, and then Chattel was in there. I was like, how are you guys even? Because if it was me, and I had like my cousin, I'd say hey, he would have a. Yeah, you got to catch him outside real quick. You got to catch them outside.
I want to ask Jake Sorensen to be by Sipple's side the next time he goes to a basketball presser with Fred Hoiberg.
Okay.
I don't want Sipple alone with Fred Hoiberg.
Why?
You think Jake can save him?
No,
Jake,
but we need accountability.
Why?
Well, we need. Just sometimes you.
I don't think Sipple's been that bad on basketball. I just thought it was funny though.
I was like, wow. Okay.
No, Fred. Me and Fred have had the conversation of. He was in Chicago in that media market. I said to him once, Fred, it gets a little rough here, and he thought it was funny. He goes, "What? I was just in Chicago."
Yeah, he had a bad time in Chicago.
I was in Chicago. The media market's a little different in Chicago.
It's child's play.
Just saying. When you to take the Bryce McGowan's flop and fling it. That was a fling. That wasn't you flung it at Hoiberg,
It's all in. Come on.
It was tongue in cheek.
Was it?
Well, it wasn't totally tongue in cheek.
Okay,
obviously.
but that's
Right.
just
Right. I mean, but he's 5-43 DP in the Big Ten. 5
the
and 43.
play. Yeah, I just saw you. That's all. I just
It was seen. The tweet was seen by many. We all saw the tweet.
So we're gonna ask you this.
Yeah, I'm pretty naive about all that. Go ahead.
There's a replica of the football team, right? Close, but not yet so far, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see him, right? You see, I mean, you're Wisconsin number 11.
Mm-hmm.
You're pretty much neck and neck with them until you had a 2-minute or 4 possessions where you were empty. You know what I mean? And then they went from they had a corner 3 that was a good shot, barely went out. Came and had 2 defensive busts. You go from tie game to down 7.
Okay.
End up losing by 8 or whatever.
Yeah, it was. What was
it was 8, right?
It was an 8-point loss to a number 11 team.
Right. So again, you're just like you play Oklahoma, Michigan State, close but yet so far as football.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, look, they played Ohio State close.
No. Here's what I'm gonna tell you, DP. Wisconsin didn't play well.
But hold on.
That's where the imbalance is.
Nebraska they caused some of that not playing well. They played a little bit, but they've played a little bit longer stretches of defense.
That's the part I have issue with.
So so at the end of the day, it was an 8-point game. Wisconsin showed up to play. They didn't have any COVID layoff. They actually should have beat the brakes off Nebraska because they
we used that COVID layoff. We didn't use it with the women. The women came off. The Nebraska women came off a COVID layoff. No excuses.
Hold on.
Came
I'm
firing.
not giving you excuses. You have a team that's the knife is sharpened because they have been playing competitive basketball versus a team that's been practicing. Wisconsin just played a game before Nebraska, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska didn't play a game. So continuity favors a team that's been playing. Do you understand? Are we on the same wavelength? Are you in like Kearney somewhere? Or are you on your motorcycle?
No,
okay.
no, I'm not buying it.
Okay, that's fine. It's an 8-point
I'm not
game,
buying
right?
it,
Okay, so what changes would you think would you do to the lineup from your basketball?
I wouldn't. I don't know if he can. I don't know if there's anything he can do right now. It's part of the issue. I don't know.
You don't think so?
What are you suggesting? That they bench Verge and use Kobe Webster?
No, I asked you though.
I like Verge, but I understand that the point guard thing's not working. But I don't know that there's an answer that's on the roster.
There can't be one answer. There's got to be multiple things, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
There's
the thing is, I like Verge's game, and I butt heads with our beat writer on this. I like Verge's game, not as a point guard though. He's a scorer. He's very creative, but he's not playing point guard well. I mean,
so I'm gonna ask you again. What things would you like to change though?
Recruit a point guard and get big.
You have a point guard. You've recruited a high level, a super.
Who we
high
talking
level.
about?
That ain't got nothing, hold on. That ain't got nothing to do.
He ain't playing right now.
No, you said you just said recruited. You just said recruited.
We're talking about now.
Well, he's asking me what would I do right now.
Yes.
Well, there's no answer. I don't have.
You don't have an answer.
Well, for this season,
there's got to be an answer.
What is it?
Okay, let me ask you this.
There's no answer. They're not
Let's
good.
go back.
No, there are answers.
You didn't have suggestions during the football season that you keep doing the same thing you were doing?
Well, it's a
what-
limited. We're in a limited conversation right now.
No, we're not.
Is there somebody on the roster I'm not aware of?
It's not about being better. There's the combinations, right?
You tell me who
when
the point guard
so when
is.
you make your ribs,
No,
and
you
don't,
tell me who the point guard
Yeah,
is.
hold on. I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Yeah, because you don't want an answer.
Because there is no answer.
There's no answer.
So Jay,
though.
this
There's nobody hiding in the roster.
Yeah, there's no.
Oh, hold on.
I can't
See,
wave
this
a
is
magic
this
wand.
is the thing that you don't understand. When you play the game and team sports, it's not just about one guy. That's what I'm getting to, right? So if you have a guy that can run the offense more efficiently, it doesn't matter that he's a better player. It's how the offense runs. You could possibly change the lineup instead of wearing out Derek Walker, which you've been playing big minutes against big physical dudes all year. You could put old boy down there, the French Connect. I call him the French Connection in there, right? And try to go a little bit of high-low, right? You might want to put Trey McGowns in there with Bryce, or you might want to try to do a little quasi. We can't say a death lineup like the Golden State Warriors because we would be just disrespecting the Golden State Warriors because they were one of the best teams of all time. You could say we could be the cornfield lineup and go four kind of, small forwards, guards.
In the Big Ten?
Yeah.
They're
Change
they're
up.
getting pounded on the boards right
Okay,
now.
so what's
They
the
don't have
difference?
enough big guys.
That's what I'm saying. See, we gotta have.
Can
see,
we
simple.
stop having the, see? This is the part. This is where I get okay. Stop regurgitating what people in the vacuum speak as gospel. When it comes to basketball, the mechanics of basketball, there are actual rules to how the game is played. Now, if you want to attack a certain way, there are things you can do in this system that force other teams to react to you rather than you sitting there curled up in the fetal position, waiting for them to
sitting in the. I'm not in the fetal position.
I'm not speaking to you. I'm speaking to Nebraska
Yeah.
basketball. Here's the thing. You could make changes with the rotation. You could start with a different group. You could actually make Big Ten teams defend in ways that they don't normally like to defend. Look, you don't have a 7-footer. So stop playing like you have a 7-footer. Golden State made that rule. Look, we don't have a 7-footer. So we're going to play Draymond, and then we're going to play 4 guys around him that, one, make other teams react to them. Make Big Ten Frankensteins defend on the wing
I
and
get
in
what you're
space.
saying.
But the only problem is that we don't defend like
shoot.
Golden State
And you don't shoot like Golden State.
At all.
Right. But you could do something different.
So you're just going to do the same thing and curl
Well,
up
I don't
every
know.
night.
What do you do?
They're not
that's-
changing
that's
anything up,
what-
though.
no,
You
no,
could-
I'm not the
my
coach.
issue is that they don't change it.
That's the problem with
My
the
issue
coaching
is that they
staff.
don't
then.
change anything. But I'm not going to sit and repeat the same nonsense that, hey, we're just going to curl up and take a beating every night without changing.
Well,
Trying
he's
to change
changed a
what
little
we
bit.
do.
He's changed a little
He
bit.
has-
DP,
he has-
to
he
be
has
fair,
changed
he's
some
run it through Walker a little more.
Yeah.
He's tried to get Bryce going downhill a little bit more.
They were just
They changed it significantly when they started going through Walker,
yeah. But Steve,
and it worked for a little while.
Listen here, little
Teams adjusted,
Hey,
though,
little
DP.
featherweight champ. Let me ask you this.
Now you watch yourself.
what were you? Are you a middleweight at 175? What are you?
Super middleweight.
Super middleweight.
Right.
Super flyweight. Okay.
Yeah.
Super flyweight. Okay. Back to the edge. Okay. Or back to the sword being sharp. Right. So what you have to look at, right, and I'll equate it to football, right, is when you see a team that comes off a bye week, right? There's either two ways that they come off. They look a little sharper. That when you and you look at that yards after contact when you're either running the ball or tackling a guy. Leaky yardage, right? So if you want a real in real time team that came off a bye week a little bit better than other was you saw Buffalo's defense.
Okay.
Obviously probably missed a little bit of the fundamentals, even though they were in play mode. And you saw Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Right, where you take drop passes, inability to break tackles. How it equates to basketball is catching in traffic, right? Derek Walker, him and Alexis Markowski, I call them they're vacuum catchers, right? As soon as they hit their hands, it's like a vacuum. You saw a little bit of the bobbles, right? You
saw that.
Okay, and then you saw a little bit of that man. That's what I'm talking about, the layoff, right? So when you play against a team that's a pretty efficient offensive scoring team and knows how to play, that's the difference.
I guess.
Now, when you're talking about changing lineups, the problem here's what really would you want to know what really would help Nebraska? If they had 3 possessions of the game, if they have their big name wing players all in unison, I don't want to be cheesy and say slap the floor like Duke does. If they just increase their energy at the top of their defensive possession, all 3 of them at the same time. Because what that'll do,
Yeah.
will ignite everybody else to increase the pressure. You see it at times, right? You see it from one guy.
Oh, yeah.
You see it from Trey, maybe Kobe. See it a couple times from Verge, but it's always kind of like a rusty like chain in a bike, right? It's not smooth because you have 2 out of the 5. You need everybody to do it. You get what I'm saying?
Pretty much.
And then if you watch the game, you know what I mean? Whereas when Wisconsin shot, they had at least 3 guys moving towards the hoop, right? To try to get an offensive rebound. Nebraska they're easy to box out, even though they are potentially a quick team, right? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So these are like the hidden points when you go through lulls of either bad play or shots not going in. You need those extra possessions. That's how you gut out a game or grind a game out, right? So if you want to equate it back to football, when it's 3rd and 12 against Michigan, you can't bust a 3-2 read. You know what I mean? So for you people out there, it's a tight end, offset back, tight end, and a close wing. You can't bust that. Or you got to tackle them at 8 yards so they have to punt. Because once they get that extra, that's an extra possession in football or extra series. That's the difference between winning and losing right now for this team. Shooting and stuff, you know, that's they just had 3 or 4 games where they shot the ball from 3 really well. You get what I'm saying?
They have to shoot the ball.
Right.
They have
from
to.
3
Yeah.
really
But
well.
when you're
0-9's
not,
tough.
you can't say, okay, we're not hitting, the game's over.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
That's one of my fundamental issues with the way they're structured.
They need a clothesliner too.
Right.
A closer and a
clothesliner. Somebody when you come down the lane,
A tough dude.
And
Yeah.
Terry Tate.
Well, Derek Walker's a tough dude.
Yeah, but you can't.
Terry Tate.
But he's your most
He's in
efficient.
a gang fight with.
He's
with,
your most
with one
effi-
person.
They had 2 dudes.
He's the
seven,
one guy.
they had 2 dudes 7 feet,
just him.
250.
Yeah, it's
Two.
a brawl. You can't do.
Oh, I know.
So
I
and
know
then
what
they
they're
had
up
2 guys.
I
3
know what they're
guys,
up against in
6'9".
the Big Ten.
Right. That's a big. See, that's the difference. Nebraska looks like a kind of AAU team. That looked like a big. If you want a big, that was a big physical team that they had.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
All right.
That's a Big Ten
and
team.
with 4
That's
Minnesota
a typical
kids, too.
Big Ten team. That's a typical Big Ten.
Old School is up next for Steve Sipple. I'm Jake Sorensen. See you.
Southeast Community College has learning centers in